morning.
Good morning. Hi everyone.
Hello.
So today we are going for the last two games of the Swedish Masters. Welcome.
That is correct.
Morning.
It will be decided today.
It will be decided. We will have a new Swedish champion. Yeah. I will have a buddy on my list there on my team. Will be great.
A third little name tag.
A third little name on the trophy there.
Yep. We are about to start game 4, or actually the dice have been starting to roll out in the venue. But there's 3 players on 3-0 from yesterday.
Exactly. So that is an interesting concept, because what could technically happen here is that if our third player, who is playing someone who has lost a game, loses that game to that player, we could theoretically end up in a situation where the winner doesn't win all their matches.
Yeah.
Meaning that we could technically have a Swedish champion going 4-1. And if I'm not mistaken, that is actually what happened when I won the Swedish Championship. We didn't have anyone going.
You seem to be convinced that you lost the game that.
I don't know. I have that in my mind. It could be that I'm mixing it up with another tournament around then, but for some reason that's a thought that I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it was about 2 lists, and that's what was 2 lists at that time.
Yeah, that's true.
And I chose the wrong list, and I lost that game, but somehow still wasn't.
Could be mixed up with last year's, but I don't know.
Could be mixed up with last year's, but that's not what I think.
Still,
anyway.
It's not guaranteed that it's going to be a 4-1.
No, definitely not. That is like
a couple of hurdles on the way. For
definitely,
that.
There are some conditions to that.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting prospect.
Yeah, it is,
because it means that a lot of people still have something to play for, even though it might be unlikely.
Yeah, exactly. It's opening up for half the field or something like that, or a third of it.
Yeah.
It's Adam Sev with the Soul Black Gravelodge, which we saw on the screen yesterday.
Yep.
Is one of the 3-0. Christian Wennberg also on the screen yesterday.
With Caradon, yes.
Caradon, 3-0. And Philip Skoglund with the Soul Black's Gravelodge,
exactly.
3-0.
Yes.
So Adam is facing off against Christian.
Yeah.
We will not be streaming that game,
because they've already been on the stream, and one of them will be on the stream for the last game.
Yeah. So we'll sort of we will be of course bringing you results of that game.
Very much so.
Yeah. It's highly interesting how that evolves. It's an interesting game in itself.
Absolutely.
If none of them had been on the stream, I would have liked to have them there.
Oh yes, would have been a good game to show.
Yeah, it's a shooting game against a more tanky game.
Yeah, tanky. Yeah.
So yeah. Philip is playing against Albin, which, by your reasoning earlier, still has a shot at the
technically,
trophy.
yes, especially if he wins this game, he still has a good shot, because he's still up very well on battle tactics on the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker might be what decides this.
Yeah.
So that's what we were talking about too, about the battle tactics. They actually matter.
Yeah.
They can matter big time. They can actually win you the championship.
It does. And Albin is tied on battle tactics with Romja.
Yeah.
Which is next player on 2-1 from Saturday. So and the list goes on. If a quick calculation puts us on, let's see, 14 players on 2-1. Not all of them that high on battle tactics.
No.
Actually, that's 12.
12 players. Yes. 12.
Yeah, because one of the wins is a minor victory.
Yes.
That does not
exactly.
count. But that's spread between 6 and 14 completed battle tactics, so, and that is the first tiebreaker.
Yeah, that is going to be the main deciding factor here.
So very interesting, and we will bring you results from around the tables as the morning progresses.
Yes, we will.
But our main game.
Yeah, today, the first game that we're playing now is going to be a real hoot, I think. It's going to be fun. We figured, we saw this matchup and we thought, this is going to be cool. We haven't seen much of these armies at all. So we're going to make Bobbin really happy today, I think. Yeah. He's going to get his wish come true. I hope he's following along here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's here. I haven't seen it. But yeah, we'll have Kalle with his Ogumor tribes.
Yes, facing off against
Vida,
yes. With Osiark Bone Reapers.
Yeah, he's playing those new Bone Reapers. And none of these are in the contention for the trophy.
No, they are not.
But they are both qualified for the Swedish Masters, so they are both players have earned their place here.
For sure.
So, yep. And does it? Where does it say game 3?
It says game 3. Oh, it's probably somewhere in the overlay or something.
Yeah, somewhere.
We'll have a look at that. It might be an update on the streaming.
It's game 4 that
it is game 4
that we are going to stream.
If you have you tried updating that? We press a button.
Didn't I update it?
Maybe that wasn't the updated thing. Maybe it does now. Well, we'll see. Oh, yeah, I think that might have been an update. Perhaps it will say 4 now. The technology.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah, so let's head to the table.
We are starting to see things happen at the table now.
Yep.
So let's head over.
We're playing the price of gallet.
We are playing the price of gallet.
Let's head over to the table. Here we have it.
Are everyone. So we have Kalle on our left and we have Vida on our right.
Vida went first, and Kalle activated his objective close to his own deployment zone, as you always do in this scenario.
That is what you do.
Yeah, should we bring up the scenario perhaps, so we know what we are talking about? Yeah.
And also to answer your question, Ram Gems, there is no such thing as too much. It's just too weak.
I was sensible, or weak in other words.
I actually abstained, to be honest. I had other things in my mind.
But
we still had a great day yesterday, and we're gonna have a great day today, for sure. Yes, good old Petrifix. Well, they're not good old. They're actually good new. Petrifix Elite, brand spanking new.
That is true, and it will be interesting to see what these new guys can do.
So we have our first battle tactic is cunning maneuver with a bone shaper onto the objective. Yep. Nothing unconventional about that. That's as to be expected.
Yep,
that's a free battle tactic. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, the only reason not to do it is to save it for later if you see an opening to be able to grab a different battle tactic early in the game.
But at this point, there aren't a lot of things to choose from.
No, that is true.
And if you have that just served up to you, you take it.
Yeah, that's...
Why not? So we also have Catacross activation here, where he's giving him the debuff for -1 hit to the Cron Spine.
Yep, we will be bringing you the list shortly, but I'm prepping here for getting the scenario up. This is the deployment zone. Yep. So Kalle is our defender with blue to the left, and this is and that means that his objective is the one being activated according to this. And so the scoring is 1, 2, and more, as per usual, or as per mostly usual.
Yep.
Anyway, the thing about this, though, is that this objectives can only be scored if they have been activated. And after the players have determined who will take the first turn, the player going second pick one objective to be activated, which means that the scoring in this is sort of staggering.
Yep. And it means that the first turns will have quite an impact, because that first objective is worth a lot of points.
Yeah, 2 points for that. It's it's not that easy.
No, especially if you get it in your deployment zone. Yeah. That's going to score you quite a few points throughout the game.
Yeah, so this is a scenario where most often gives it away to be able to sort of block the opponent from scoring more than 2 points for his battle tactic. So, let's bring this one to the side then, and bring up the lists. I agree with you, Ramjans, about the Morghasts, and I love if they are a good pick, because that's one of the most gorgeous models.
Oh, I love them. They are amazing. Really, really cool. The Nokman is super nice. It's expensive still,
Let's see here, and
there's a lot of stuff going on in the new book that is just gonna be. It's gonna take a while to kind of adjust to all the new stuff going on here too. we have our lists up there as well.
So let's start with the...
It might be that we actually got it wrong and they switched dice here somewhere. They switched sides. I don't know, we'll have to figure that out in just a moment, but we can start by focusing on what's important here, not colors.
Yeah, let's do that. So we'll start with Kalle's list.
Yep.
It's the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys.
And it's a Frostlord on Stonehorn, accompanied by a Slaughtermaster and 3 Stonehorn Beast Riders. So, and a Kronspine.
And there's a Kronspine attached to that guy.
So in a 1-drop, which gave Kalle the opportunity to give it away, as we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, and this is pretty much what you would expect from a boulder head if you want to put a Kronspine in it.
Yeah.
You'll just have the Kronspine, of course, attached to the hero, with some cool stuff going on. He has, of course, the Arcane Tome, and he has the Mount Trait Rocking Elder. Nothing surprising there at all. Slaughter Master, Molten Entrails, and Tunnel Master, just for some extra viability there. Why not?
The Tunnel Master is the teleport one.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
The survivability, I thought you said.
I said viability.
Viability, sorry.
No worries. Yes. So just to have some extra flexibility there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the Stonehorn Battle Line. And that is the list. That's all of it. And that's exactly 2,000 points.
Yeah. And we'll have a look at it on the models. At the models later on. Let's see. For the next list then. We have a video with the Bone Reapers, and
this is interesting.
I must confess that I am not very well read up on the new Berserk Bone Reapers. So
that would make both of us.
me.
And this is going to be so interesting to see. Just like what does the new Bone Reapers do?
Yeah,
it's going to be really cool.
So please enlighten us in the chat when we are misunderstanding any action on the table.
Let us know.
Yeah, it's Catacross and a Mortisan Bone Shaper and Vokmortian. So that's the three leaders.
Exactly.
2 of them name, so it's only one champion.
Kind of interesting that they still don't force Catacross to be your general when you're using him. Very strange. So he's so full of himself. But he still allows someone else to be a general.
Yeah, it's too lofty to be a general.
Yeah, like he's beyond general. He's the god of them.
Something like that.
Well, Mortark at least.
Mortark, simply too good to be a mere general.
Yeah, that is true.
Not the Apocalypse, but something else.
Yeah. Thank you very much for offering the assistance with the OBR. I think that'll be great for us to.
Yeah, we will need that.
Definitely.
And then we have 2 6s of Immortis Guard, 5 Cavalos Death Riders, and 2 Morghast Archai.
Yeah, the Archai. There's not our Rangers, it's Archai,
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have some endless spells there.
Yeah.
The Nightmare Predator and the Soul Seeker, and both OBR spells.
So, let's head to the table, have a look at what's happening.
What is going on.
And we are into the first turn, as we said.
And we just as I suspected there, we have the colors mixed up because we were fed the wrong information.
Yeah.
But we might just adjust this. Okay.
So we're getting some information about spells here. It's a failed Mystic Shield, but a 4-up ward on the...
Yeah, with the Empowered Netherite on the Immortus.
Okay, and the Bone Shaper just used his Tunnel Master once per game teleport to get to the...
So there you have it. So already starting with the teleport.
Yeah. That's if you need your mobility, you need your mobility.
Yeah.
So
and especially when you're a slow hunk of bone.
Yeah, that is true. You know what? I won't stand for this being on the different side.
No,
so keep talking. I'll leave you a chat to Liara, and I'll do.
Can we call ourselves nerds if we don't care about the color of one player or the other? How could we live with ourselves? So we're just gonna have that being fixed up here. Eric is going to focus there. That's gonna go just fine, I think. We can just have a look here at the table a little bit and see if we can get a bit of a closer look here at what we're looking at. Oh, that is a bit too close of a look. So we're looking at a little bit here at his moving up. You can see that he is going really centered here. He has also like placed his lovely obelisk terrain piece just in the corner where it fits, because that is one heck of a piece to fit on the board. Around the portion of the top table, it's hard for us to provide that because we don't have cameras, we don't have a table boss there, so we'll try to do our best on that end to at least bring us some sort of updates if we have any, but we can't make any promises when it comes to the top table. We'll do our best to see if we can stay updated and at least give you some hints on how it's going. So that was Vid's turn. He pretty much moved up, solidified his position here, starting to take some board presence, but still keeping his Immortis guard up front, and really like building up that strong front, preparing for those, inevitable charges from the Stonehorns. So the question now is, what is Kalle going to do to respond to this? And it is his turn here now. Let's see here. And did we get a total score there, which should be a 4 points, right? Yes, exactly. That is 4 points. Good. That is what we got confirmed to. Nothing surprising. So let us have a look here now. Where are we going here?
Everything should be except for the cunning maneuver being on the wrong
there we go. Yes,
table.
exactly.
Yeah, it was Vide doing the cunning maneuver.
Yes, and he scored his 4 points and completed it.
Did he get control of the objective then?
Yeah.
Yep.
He did.
That's the center one. Yep.
Yep.
Because you can't activate your own
no,
objective.
you can't
that
activate your own. That's right. You have to activate the middle ones. Yeah, that is true.
But it's still.
Yes, I see. Exactly. Cannot be activated at the start of the second battle round.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Very clever. Yeah, because nothing's gonna contest that when the Stormhorn starts just stomping around on that objective. It's his.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Vide must have accepted that. Yeah, sure. He can grab his 2 points this turn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also why you can see him not placing his whole army on it, because he knows that's not going to be enough anyway. Those are still 10 models per monster.
Yeah.
So how is that going to help him just putting everything in harm's way? So I think it's good of him to try to spread out a bit too. That gives him increased chances of, seeing as Kalle isn't going to have a lot of stuff held back. Mm-hmm. He might not even be too interested of his own home objective.
Yep.
So we have.
Desecrate the land.
Desecrate on the big one at the bottom there. That is the one that is chosen for desecrate.
Yeah, so he'll send one of his Stonehorns to sort of swing by that.
Yeah, just hang out by those rooms there.
That end.
That is what he's doing. But yeah, so he might not be super interested in going for activating his back objective, because he might want to just keep pushing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to spend a turn standing around. He does have an extra hero on foot who could do that.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll see.
But
It's about the priority for the next turn.
So he has options. He always has options.
Yeah, he has options. If you want to see the lists, we can occasionally bring them up on the screen, but you can go to Exen and have a look at the lists.
And there we have a link. Thank you very much for the list, Silence. That is perfect. And good morning to everyone who has popped in and said hello. So happy that you could join us.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have a great day. We know that we're going to have one.
Yeah.
We're having a fantastic time here at Swedish Masters. And it's amazing to see all the people turning up, both here and at home, joining us to
It really is. It's
catch the fun.
Yeah, I had a great time just sitting talking about the games yesterday.
Oh yes.
But it's even more fun if somebody's actually listening.
That helps. You don't feel like you know that person sitting there in the corner talking to themselves.
Yes. So the Slaughtermaster buff on the center Stonehorn and a Mystic Shield.
Yeah, so we have a bit of buffs going on the center Stonehorn there, which is just a regular dude, perhaps? Is it? Yeah, that's just a regular one. Because the Frostlord is behind him, as you can see here, with his big spear. So we have this guy here getting some buffs up here. Can we see what it says? It says Mystic Shield, and then there's a second buff, which I cannot read from here because of the glare, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, this list, or not this list, of course, since it's a Kronspine, but one of my first experiences of Age of Sigmar was going to a tournament here in Gothenburg, actually. Must have been one of the early in the first General's Handbook. And was... I mean, a lot of great armies over there, but there was one Stonehorn list. And so that sort of proved... It's a proof of concept of Age of Sigmar. Yeah. The mix of the Stonehorn armies along with, horde armies of different kinds at the same time. It was great to see.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was Björn Malmborg's Stonehorns.
Oh yeah. And we also have seen quite a bit of Stonehorns and stuff like that. We have also Felix, who brought his list today of 6 Stonehorns here from Malmö. A lot of fun. But it's really cool. Also, I think it brought something to the game when they started introducing that you could have the monsters as battle lines. Yeah. And that was the Stonehorns were the first ones doing that.
It was great to see.
That's kind of cool because you saw a different type of game.
Yeah. And now, of course, we have the Sons of Behemoth to does that to an even further extreme.
Yeah, exactly. Where that's the only way you can play it. Just have the monsters. But also, and then you had the Gristle Gore did that with the fleshy cords. And it's kind of cool. And the Sylvaneth are kind of doing that now with the Oakenbrow.
Oh yeah, and now the Beast of Chaos as well, with the Gorgons and the Cygors.
The Gorgons and
actually, we see the Kronspine moving up there.
Really cool. Oh yes.
Let's see it. Yeah. Kalle is one of those rare breed who used the official model as the
Kronspine. Yeah. That really cheap box of I don't know how expensive it is and hard to get.
I bought it, but I happen to want the terrain as well, so that doesn't make it.
Because that's the thing also where you have to buy a terrain just to get your spell. That is one way to get your models, and that's a novel concept.
The Bone Shaper has been redeployed down into the terrain to protect him from the Kronspine. I think you can buy the Kronspine separately now, right? Back up there. You can buy the Kronspine separately.
You can do it now. Yes, it used to be.
It's the early hype.
The early hype. You had to buy that big box full of terrain and stuff, and you saw all the people scramble for that. And then it's like, oh nope, we have to 3D print them.
It was a great day for the STL makers.
Oh yeah, or also just you could see all the ways that people kind of converted things into being a Kronspine, and some were better than others.
I like this model
though. But there was some innovation there. The model is actually really cool now.
You can find the link to the Exen tournament in the chat.
Yep.
Just
so it's
a little ways up.
Exen.com/tournament/2099. Gå ut med någonting nu, nej. Okay, so we have had an update here.
Yep.
And it's a game that has been called because unfortunately one of the players did not show up.
Yep.
Which is a real shame to see.
Yeah, it is.
At this level, and game 4. These are good players, and when something like this happens, it's a real shame. Yeah. We don't have the whole information about what the reason is for this to happen.
No, we simply don't know.
But sometimes this is the sad state of things that people get left out of not playing their games because their opponent doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And this has been the case in the game between Konstantinos and Ronja. where Ronja did not appear in time here for the game, so it has been deemed a walkover.
So Konstantinos won that game,
Yeah.
completing all his 5 battle tactics
Exactly.
and his grand strategy.
Yeah.
Well, we won't speculate on what.
No, it's just something
we
that
don't
happened,
know anything.
and we'll
so
just have to tell you guys that
Yep.
this has happened, and it will be reported thusly.
which puts Konstantinos on 3-1, I suppose. Let's see.
I mean, he's in a good spot now.
Yeah, it's on a 3-1 with 18 completed battle tactics
Yep.
and 4 completed grand strategies.
Yep.
So he's definitely in the top for that podium or even possible trophy.
Exactly.
Again,
He's in a really good spot for the podium. If he just wins his next game, he is pretty much guaranteed a podium.
Yeah, which is a great showing for the reigning champion.
That's pretty much how you do it, right? I guess I showed him how to do it.
Yep, he did.
Let's see how.
He keeps the tradition alive.
Yep. So we had a little bit of damage going out there to the Immortis. But not a lot. Sorry, just to double check here with our table boss. What was the source of that? You say was it the front spike? It was the blood eagles. We got the blood vultures. That's what we got. A little bit of extra mortal wounds tossed out.
Yep.
We also got a wound there on the bone shaper.
Yeah. Can we zoom in even further on those OBR models?
We can definitely do that. Let's see if we can take a little bit of a more look. Those are some gorgeous, vibrant colors, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a great pick.
What would you bet that those are the new contrast paints that they that they let out?
Very well.
They look very much like the new contrast paints with or at least maybe a washing of it.
Crossbind just got a 7-inch charge, which should put him in there.
And is that going to reach the bone shaper? Is the question.
I'm all in favor of great-looking armies made with economic amount of effort.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say that these are in any way sort of.
And I don't think it's just a code of contrast. I think that this is someone has been using contrast in the way you're supposed to use it, like really utilizing. So the Immortis get counter strike, which I'm guessing is a fight back
command, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a fight back command of some sort. If someone has any more detailed information on exactly the wording of what it does, that is not something I'm super familiar with.
Nope.
OBR is it's a +1 to wound.
Yeah,
we got that. Yeah. We just got that information too. Thank you very much, though, for keeping us updated here.
Yeah,
keeping us
I wasn't saying that he in any way did a sloppy army. I just said that
no, definitely not.
It was a gorgeous looking army.
Absolutely,
and that is the point.
It doesn't have to be complex or hard to do for it to look good, and that is something that I think we could all learn a bit when it comes to our hobby.
Yeah,
that we don't have to spend hours and hours on end for something to look good. Sometimes we just need to find the way that works for us, and we can just do it our way. Now they are on 2 out of
2. Actually, we could.
Two
8-inch shots, yeah.
We had 8-inch shots from the Stonehorn, the buffed one.
We would try to get some shots of Christian versus Adam. That is, of course, the primary game to be to sort of have an eye on the results for.
Absolutely.
Because that is a very much deciding final game, so to speak. Oh, 5 mortals
on the impact room.
Yep.
That is not too bad.
No, that's what it is. What they hand out.
Yeah, but on 8 dice, 4 ups. That's above average. That's really good. Yeah, we're trying to keep an eye here as well on the top table. We can just switch over quickly.
So quickly switch over.
Yeah,
let's
do that.
No, sorry, that was the wrong.
There we go.
Just switch over there. This is the Adam versus Christian game. And so we will be able to give you that shot again.
Yeah, we can also see that it's the neighboring table, so we're trying to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
They are starting up here so far. there doesn't seem to be a lot of things happening.
Christian, as per usual,
in the first turn,
yeah,
but I
as
can
per
see
usual,
taking out some Blood Knights, it seems.
probably where that Ironclad is standing,
Most
that's
likely, yes.
the activated.
So now we just have to see what Autumn has to offer in return.
Yeah, they're gonna slap back hard. They probably will.
Most likely.
So what were rerolled
That
there?
was
Sorry.
probably the charge, I assume.
Yeah. So we have seen a number of. It's one Stonehorn and one Kronspine into that unit, right?
That is correct. Oh, a failed roar.
Failed roar at the Mortis Guard. Yeah.
That is rough, because the Mortis Guard will be able to do even more crazy shenanigans now.
Yeah, with their 2s and 2s.
Yeah.
That's
That's
so harmless. But they first need to absorb the hits of high.
But that's what you have the defense for.
There's a monstrous action.
The monstrous action, of course. Yes, we have to remember those with the Stonehorns. Now they can just keep running.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get to the back of the
line.
There.
I don't know if it will
double
be
sixes on those 2d6 for the move. That is interesting.
Can he make it over?
Yeah, -1 to damage means he's not going to do much against guard. Yes, that is a thought that we have to think of as well. That the damage reduction will definitely help.
That Stoneheart did make it past the unit.
He did get
will he go for the character there? The Bone Shaper,
yes.
That was it, right?
Plus he can also threaten the backline here, which is some Death Riders, I think. Yeah, those should be the Death Riders. So he's also got in range of those.
Yeah.
And just being able to grab them. Not too bad, maybe, because that's one mobile unit that disappears.
It is. Although Stonehorns aren't invulnerable.
They are not.
And that's the Morghasts and Catacross himself standing close by.
Why wouldn't Catacross go and bash him Stonehorn? I mean, he's got nothing to fear, right?
Catacross still has his same profile with a.
We assume so, or it might even be worse, or I mean, more dangerous, or like even heavier hitting.
But,
yeah. So we're getting some. Yeah. So we're getting some inside info here that Catacross has been made even meaner. He doesn't bracket and lose his attacks anymore, and he's always going to be his meanest whenever he's near a hero. This is not a hero, this Stonehorn, but I think he'll still pack quite a punch if he gets in there.
It is the new OBR book, which I haven't had the opportunity to study beforehand.
No, I mean these are brand new books, very very new books. I haven't had the opportunity to study it either, which is really, I mean, it's also a cool thing where you can see learning the new books in action, because these players are also learning the new books in action. This is what we're seeing, adjusting to all the new stuff and ways to consider these units that they might not have been considered before. Really cool. This is indeed the new OBR book, exactly. And
Catacross is the reasoning for his bracketing, but it is, well, of course, he has a bunch of assistants on his, and as he loses wounds, those assistants dies, and just
they're just taking the hits for him as good minions should.
Yeah, he's not deigned to move down to do the close combat effort himself until.
Exactly, he doesn't lose his abilities.
Yeah, but he won't lose those abilities. Yeah, I assume he's sort of, the adjutant doesn't give those orders. I'll have to do that myself.
Yeah, right.
Along with killing the opponents.
I guess I'll do it myself. We got a rend buff on the Death Riders, meaning that if they aren't taken out, they will be able to do that much more damage to the Stonehorn, which in and of itself means the Stonehorn is even more exposed there. We'll see how well it fares against all of these bone reapers around it with very sharp blades.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to find out. And we also have the Kronspine, of course, being So I don't know if
we're talking buffs here. I think lots of buffs going on. Exactly. Yeah, and of course we are being reminded here that Catacross has this universal ability that he always uses.
Yeah.
That gives the entire army +1 to hit and +1 save.
Yeah.
Just like that. On Petrifex.
yeah. You should get that when you're accompanied by the Supreme Commander.
Yep.
And
it is so good. It is so game changing for the army because the army is already super durable, and then you just add that as a second layer to it, just making it that much more almost insurmountable to just deal with these things and kill them. Especially if you look now that you have the Immortis guards that are even more defensive, and even more defensive buffs and stuff, and even more defensive abilities. You're in for quite the challenge to just kill them. Yeah, it is a slog. It's a grind fest. And they don't. I mean, it's not like they're wet noodles when they fight back anymore.
No, absolutely not. All out. So the Crossbind got an all-out attack from the holder of the bound, the Frost Lord, and that means that the monster on the Stonehold over there, the zoomed-in one, also gets all-out attack.
Exactly, because it splits all over.
It's good when you can bind the Crossbind to some sort of fight. See, a monster or a character rather that you're not afraid to put in the front line.
Exactly.
So you can hand out those buffs, because quite often that it is, when you see it, it's oftenly sort of placed at the back of the line, then out of reach for a command.
For the buffing, So that is very good. We of course have the all-out defense on the Immortis, as expected.
What save are they on now? They should be a 4
-2.
2 up or something.
I don't know.
The Mystic Shield failed on them, though.
The Mystic Shield did fail. And the hero can pass boost Immortis in that monster charge pointless. Yeah, we have a 2+ on Immortis, exactly. The 5-up ward was on the
Bone
Shaper. Okay, sorry, we missed that.
It's not unreasonable.
No. So he has those ward, but he can still pass the wounds along there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Since the ward doesn't apply to them, so that would be the way to do it. But and of course, I guess the passing of wounds can always fail.
Yep.
With these bodyguard rules, unless that is some sort of automatic one that we haven't heard of before.
Yeah, is he on minus the damage against the character as well, the Bone Shaper, or is it only against the Mortis guard?
I would guess it's only the Immortis.
So that's also a point.
That is a reason to fight the hero instead. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, the Morgas also have the -1. That is interesting. They didn't have that before.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. One wound from that Crossbind into the Immortal Guard.
And is anyone surprised? To be honest, these are some solid rock bone guys.
Tanking.
Oh, they are rock hard and bone hard. I don't know what to say about it. But
it's bone rock, perhaps.
It's bone rock. Yeah, it's
these skeleton stuff golems.
And it's like
now you see the
now I also think also that how in the world do you actually beat 6 of them? How do you take those guys out?
It's a +1 rend horses.
Yeah, so the Death Riders are
Kalle should perhaps have not activated the Crossbind first.
I don't think so. I don't see the reason to activate the Crossbind first.
He doesn't.
Maybe it was
risk to die or anything.
Maybe it was just because he wanted to have the buff on both of them, the all-out attack.
Yeah, that's probably.
And I don't really think the Death Riders are going to. I don't think the Death Riders are going to take down the Stonehorn by themselves. That might be a tall ask even for Death Riders because it is just
But it can be bracketed.
But it can definitely be bracketed. He can be softened up. And then you have the Immortis guard that can get him from his rear and just, close in on him and just keep that beatdown going. And that will really leave him open to be taken out as soon as the next combat starts. If he's still there.
Yep, that's true.
Which is not unlikely since he has the Mystic Shield too. So it definitely has the ability to survive this. but it's not going to be painless, not at all.
If I may, just have a sort of a reasoning about the lore of this army. Earlier Petrifex Elites armies we saw was dominated by Mortec Guard.
Yes.
Yeah, that was of course a consequence of how their rules were designed.
They were just that good.
This army, though, is much more representative of how the Petrifex Elite should be.
Yeah, because they're elite.
Yeah, they are the elite. They should be at the top echelons, the top ranks of the Ozark Bone Reapers.
Yeah, the biggest, baddest minis.
Yeah, it's not the foot sloggers. It's not the simple guys, the infantrymen.
And then we have also seen the result of these Death Riders, even with the buff, 3 wounds to the Stonehorn, because Stonehorns are tough.
Yeah, that is true.
This is what's so interesting about this matchup.
Which means didn't lose that much with activating. Probably gained a lot by...
because that's not a bracket, that's far from it, so it's good.
Yep.
But it's also kind of interesting about this game is that we have 2 very durable armies.
Yeah.
Lots of decent saves or wards, and there's a lot that's causing these armies to just stay where they are very much, or stand
It's
firm.
not like they're not fighting with soft gloves. They just have a lot of padding on themselves.
Exactly. And it's gonna be pretty cool to see how these slugs turn out, because it's very much about where the fight happens and how that affects the scenario.
Yeah.
Because the fight isn't going to be over in a round or two.
No, it really isn't. So, are we seeing the Stonehorn attacks, I guess?
Yeah, I assume we are. And we can also see that we have that lone Stonehorn at the very bottom, just taking a stroll.
Desecrating some lands.
Watching the things unfold.
Yep.
Enjoying the scenery.
I can imagine how that land is being desecrated with him sort of
Stonehorn
taking his Stonehorn for a walk.
Yeah, we also see that the Stonehorn that flew through the ranks, he is gunning for that Bone Shaper.
Yeah.
Because the Bone Shaper is the general. So he has a big target on his back.
Yes.
And
he fails to kill him, is more or less kill the Immortis Guard instead. So, yeah. So, way to funnel some proper damage.
But the Immortis Guard are also keeping that general as safe as he could possibly be.
You know what? I could go have a sneak peek at the results.
Yes. Go and check table 1. See if you can give us any kind of updates, any thoughts or feelings about it, and Eric will be right back here. And we've just heard here that the Stonehorn totally whiffed that part. Whatever went through was saved and absorbed by the Bone Shaper. No real effect of that. It was a bold maneuver. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay out. There's not a lot of effect here, and that is a real possibility here. When it comes to fighting the Bone Reapers, fighting armies like this, that if the dice aren't really working your way, and if those saves are being taken and keep working, then nothing's gonna happen, and that is something you have to prepare for. Are you only allowed to pile closer if they can balance on the terrain? In a way, yes. There are, of course, rules to it. You can't pile in a strange way, but there are also mitigating circumstances called, the wobbly model syndrome and stuff like that. And this is something that is, like, if there are any major questions about it, the TO will be involved. If there's any disagreement or anything that isn't clear. Generally what happens is that the terrain will try to be a bit more accommodating to mitigate this issue. And so far we haven't had any conflicts or anything that we've noticed has been noticeable. I think people have resolved these things, and everything seems to be working fine. So as far as we're concerned, it's a non-issue. mostly. We also hearing here that we do have the split attacks, just as I was saying that, as many as possible will probably try to go for that Stormhorn and do some damage there. A couple of them are hitting the Kronspine because, of course, you want to level that one down too.
Did you get any damage on the Kronspine?
We are looking at the attacks happening right now here. They are rolling some dice. And we will see what happens with it. Do you have any updates on
I
table
think
1?
Perhaps we could switch to that scene.
Let's do that.
Yep.
And just hold it here while they keep rolling some dice, and we'll wait for the effect here.
Thank you. So what we're seeing is Adam is still in his first turn, and Christian scored his battle tactic, of course, but now Adam has moved in. It's both Neferata and some Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon.
On the Ironclad.
On the Ironclad, yeah.
My.
You can see it. Oh, sorry. Just zoom into that.
Here a little bit, and we can see it.
So yeah, and he has his Blood Knights as well.
Oh, and the Blood Knights are in there too.
Yeah, so he's bringing everything onto that.
That is a nightmare for that Ironclad.
Yeah,
That is not gonna be fun.
Yeah, if that's lifted off, that's a huge chunk of his.
Oh, that is devastating.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, sure, Christian moved first as per usual, but.
And that is a big risk that you take when you go for the Alpha Strike against an army that can reach you.
Yeah.
With the Ironclad.
Absolutely does. Yep.
So let's head back to our table here. Sorry, we did not catch the last update there from our table boss because of the tech issues here. But we have results from the fight here.
Yeah.
Kronspine taking 8 damage.
Yep, and 5 damage to the Stonehorse puts
5.
that on 8 damage as well.
Exactly.
With the 3 from the Death Riders.
And what died on the Ossiarch side? Not much. I think there were a couple of wounds on one of the Petrifex, on one of the Immortes. Maybe one's dead. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Exactly. So yeah, because we had some mortal wounds going in here.
And this was 5 mortal wounds on the charge.
Exactly. It was the 5 mortal wounds on the charge.
Yeah.
Along with 1 wound here in the combat, and that took 1 Immortus guy down. So.
The result of this is it depends, of course, on the roll from Kalle. If he loses a level on the Kronspine, that would be tough. Yeah. But at 8 wounds, it's somewhere. And
we are seeing the Ironclad being taken off the table
look
there.
at that, yeah.
And some of them fell out there. Some might not have made it through the crash.
How many? Can we count the Thunderers left?
Oh, I don't know how much we can see them there. We'll see if we can count. But I'm guessing that's not more than maybe 5 or 6 or something. That is minority. We have one hero there, which is 1 or 2, maybe like, I don't know. It looks like the Encounter.
Yeah.
It's over there. We have the General. I think is still there. The Admiral. Not a lot staying there. This is rough for Christian.
Yeah, but we've seen him handle losses.
Yeah.
Earlier, and he
still has stuff to do.
Yep.
And we're gonna have to see how that turns out here. But it looks like
Kalle wins the priority here, and did we lose a level on the Kronspine, or is that still on the?
The Kronspine made it.
Yep.
It survived those 8 wounds without losing the level. That is also a big thing. Because it means that it's going to stay in the fight that much longer.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, it's sort of it's not unreasonable at all for that.
No.
For serving that role and getting 8 damage, sort of validates Kalle's moving in.
I mean, he hasn't lost much there.
Yeah, Kalle gives it away to Vida.
And there's a point to doing that.
And he activates the objective over by the Kronspine, of course.
No, he activated his homage. Home.
Sorry. That.
Yeah, the other one is one where the Kronspine is the other vision. Did we get a tally of the score? I'm assuming it was a 4 points as well for Kalle on his turn.
Should be right.
Wouldn't make any sense to be anything else.
Successful.
Yeah. There's no reason it wouldn't be 4 points.
Yeah, because he has that stone horn
has
and the
stone horn
crown
on it.
spine.
Yeah, it's just enough that the stone horn is touching that objective. So now let's see here what Vide can do, because the thing is also now Vide is very tied up by these two beasts standing there.
And sure, he hasn't taken a lot. He hasn't taken a lot of losses, but he hasn't inflicted any serious. It's 8 wounds on that stone horn, and that's about it.
That's about it, and
so
that also means that he's tied up with that stone horn. He's stuck where he is, and the objectives aren't there. That's not where the objectives are.
Yeah, and Kalle has about, what's that, 12 points, 12 models on the objective.
That would count as 12 models. Yeah. We also had the Bone Shaper fighting a little bit, but I don't think it seems to have done anything.
That
really.
cause any wounds to the...
Not as far as we can see here. I think we are seeing a 12 there.
Is that 12 wounds on the stone horn?
It could be 12 wounds, because I think that was an 8 before. So if the Bone Shaper did 4 wounds, that is impressive.
That is.
I think we got that confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh well, so then it's that is not much left. That is just 4 wounds left on that stone horn.
Yeah. He needs to take that down, but and that relieves him. But he can move away from it now.
Yeah. He can.
It's time down for this turn.
Exactly. He can just move everything that is stuck there away right now, or he can stick it out with the crown spine, of course. But those death riders don't have to stay there. Catacross can go in and finish that stone horn.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
And actually, since what's the wording on?
Everything can retreat and charge. Oh.
That's good, of course.
That, of course, is
very good
true.
for him.
Exactly, and everything except more because of the crown spine. Of course, because the crown spine binds them there.
Yeah.
They cannot retreat.
But the Death Riders...
They have retreat and charge, yes. So they can just get out of there and still do their charge.
Yeah. That is a very, very important movement, because then he can move them over
so and
threaten that home objective for Kalle.
Oh yes, forcing him to take a chill pill and defend his back line as well. And that's a bit what I was saying also, that sure, he has a guaranteed scoring opportunity there, but that also means that he has to guard that part, and he does not have the bodies or like the ability to split up his army in the same way.
No.
Sure, he can put the stone on 1-on-1 on the objective, but they have to fight. That's where his meat, his dangerous output is there.
Yeah.
So if he's just stood on an objective with a stone horn, that is an entire stone horn that's just standing there.
That can't be.
That's a lot of points just to stand on an objective.
Yeah. It needs to do some work.
So that is the rough part here.
Wondering if Vide could take This One Is Mine using. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry.
That could be.
Basing on.
See, and I think that's pretty much what he's measuring out now. How can you steal this objective? How can you threaten it?
And the wording on This One Is Mine.
Yep. Exactly. So he's looking at the aura, the range of the crown spine, to see if he can get away from it or not.
Yeah.
Because it's still quite close, and the aura might affect him, meaning that he wouldn't be able to retreat.
Yeah.
Which is what Kalle really would want here.
So it's pick general for This One Is Mine. Okay. So
So
there's not an auto.
So that's not an option. No.
Would have been tempting though, I guess.
Oh yes. You like having the gods or the army supreme leaders. That would help a lot if you could do that on them. But yes, it is the pick general. Which when you have one of these massive pieces, you generally pick a small person there, a little guy, and they won't be able to do this one.
To be the commander in name.
Exactly, they will not be able to do this one's mine very well. So right now we have some considerations regarding what kind of battle tactic he can score now and stuff like that, and he's just trying to figure out what can he move, how can he react to what has happened. Something also to consider here is that we haven't had a lot happen, but they've still spent a good chunk of their time
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of considerations to be done here, and that is the thing about these kinds of armies is you have to plan ahead, because once you've placed them somewhere, they're very likely to just stay there. That is the plan when it comes to these armies. So there is a lot of forethought going into your movement. You aren't able to shift your tactics as quickly as you would with certain other more mobile armies.
Yeah, and I mean it's sort of a trap or a risk for when you have a low model count army, you can fall into the thinking that you have an endless amount of time per model.
Exactly.
And overthink stuff.
Oh yes, definitely. Just because you have few models doesn't mean you might not take too long getting them somewhere.
The general rule of how to sort of keep the time is just act.
Yeah.
Learn to act instead of think.
Exactly, and it's all about making it second nature.
Yeah.
And that is where the practice comes in,
Yeah.
where we're kind of just ingraining it in your subconscious and just living, breathing Warhammer rather than thinking Warhammer. Thinking is something you do between the games. When you are in the game, you shouldn't be thinking too much, you should be doing.
Yeah. So you sort of just...
And I think that is also something that we are often seeing.
What is happening here? I saw something from that top table.
Seeing something there.
Desecrate the lands.
And
Christian och Adam. De är klara.
So we actually, guys, I
Wow,
know,
this is...
I know we were telling you guys that
we saw that ironclad being lifted off
we
the
were
table.
saying we were going to keep you updated on table 1. We just got breaking news here. The game's already done.
Yeah.
It's called. That's it.
I guess Christian just fold.
Yeah. I mean,
Seeing the reality on the table, which we have here, and that is a big chunk of his army.
he just there was no way to recover from that, and he just figured, well, okay, that's it, I guess.
That means that he accepted the fact that Adam wins this game,
Yep.
27-4.
So that means we have our first finalist for the last game here.
Wow.
That's Adam stuff. This is going to be interesting. So we might very well see a Soul Blight Mirror for the final, depending on how the other match goes on table 2.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you guys updated on that.
That's a decisive win, and I mean...
Oh yeah, this was brutal for Christian.
It really was.
And hopefully he's learned his lesson.
Don't
Don't trust the dragons.
I think he pretty much knew that beforehand.
Yeah, and I'm sure he took a gamble, and he was hoping it would pan out, and he didn't. And this is what happens when you gamble and it doesn't work.
I trust his judgment.
Oh yes. It's not like he did it on a whim. I don't think. I think there was definitely reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, if it doesn't work out, if you don't get those wounds you need,
Yep.
that is a risky maneuver with the alpha.
Yeah.
It is. So let's go back to our game here.
My guess would be that Adam won that priority into turn 2 or something like that.
That might very well have been the thing that happened, and then they just said, well, no, that's it, because the dragon can just keep going, take out the frigate. Then there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we've had a Desecrate the Lands.
Yeah, sorry.
Which I'm not sure if we got which terrain piece it was, but I'm assuming it's one of the center ones, probably.
It's on the Maw
It's
pot.
a Maw pot. Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, he wants to
You
get up
more
there
powerful
and...
than the prefect gets was. That could very well be an argument you can make. You can make that case because they are really powerful.
They drop to a lower number.
Yeah. The Soul Blight are
You won't
super
get
good
a
at
lot of money back on betting on Adam now, I guess. But it is still to be decided.
Yeah, definitely. We still have a game later. There's a final
But
played.
what we do know is whoever wants to win this tournament needs to beat Adam.
That is where it's at now.
Yeah.
He is the one to beat.
Or possible.
Or
that's resurrected all that work to kill that Immortus guard and cut across the
And just because they said, yeah, get back here. And healing the general. And we have network weapons on the Morghast.
Yep. So no 4-up ward and no Mystic Shield.
No.
And the activation on the cut across as well, of course.
Yeah.
For the
course.
buff.
The buff is up. Oh, here we see the Morghast. they are going for it. Of course, with the buffs on it as well. This is gonna be cool.
Yep.
I want to see the new Morghast in action here because they are really cool.
Zoom in on them.
Let's zoom in on these
are
beauties
lovely.
here. So there is a redeploy happening to the...
In response to the Morghast
Yeah, in
move.
response to that move up from these Morghast. Look at these models. They are so cool. These wings.
First saw them when at the end of 8th edition Warhammer
Yeah.
Fantasy playing against Tomb King's
Tomb
army.
Kings, yeah.
And that was the one model in that range that I actually like.
They are
Might be
beautiful.
be hated for saying that,
Yeah. No, they are.
but yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, they are. These are beautiful models, and they still feel beautiful. These like 5, 6, 7 years later.
Yeah.
At least, no, it's more probably. It's,
Probably more than that.
closing in on the decade soon. And they are so beautiful.
Ooh, it's a 5-inch redeploy.
That is a long
That's a
redeploy.
lot.
As you can see here, you can see it moving back,
But are
making that
these
charge.
like
That course.
Do they have a 3d6 charge?
I'm not sure if it's just the Harbingers or
That's,
the Akai have it too.
Oh.
At least that's how it used to work.
Yeah.
I think it was the Harbingers.
Okay.
But
So that will put it. It's
it's
an
still
8-inch charge. Oh no, not a full 8-inch.
No, that is not a full 8
since
inch.
it
He
was-
had to move sideways. That looks more like a 6 inch or something.
Yeah, so it's a 2d6 inch charge.
yeah, just a 2d6 on both now. Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you
They
for
don't
that
have the
one.
3d6 anymore.
Yeah. But it's now he moves it closer to the Morpot, which so he really needs to kill it in order to control
Yeah.
that more. Because as they were standing earlier, he could grab the battle tactic just by standing.
The thing is though, he's still too far from the Morpot. That is still too far from the Morpot to control it with.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Still
I
not.
was that's the butcher.
That is the
I was
butcher.
mixing- Yeah, sorry.
So the thing
Sorry. It was
is,
close
the thing
to
is, of course, if he can get around there and really screen off to make
Yeah.
sure that he can't get within 3
the
of the
butcher is
Morpot.
probably within, but that's just 2 models on
That is 2 models, and the Morghast are 4 models.
Yeah.
So that is.
So a charge, a successful charge, and
they don't
not
have
being
to,
killed
and
back.
not being killed exactly, or possibly killing the lone little slaughter,
Yeah,
or butcher.
You should
But
probably go for the butcher.
the problem
if
is
you
though,
may.
if he goes for the butcher, there's a risk that the Stonehorn
Piles.
piles in and gets within range of the objective.
that would be.
or
But
of the
if he
terrain.
may manage to get a charge and pile up against the butcher with at least one of them,
Yeah.
then that would cut off from the Stonehorn making. Unless the Stonehorn can that also make that 2d6.
I think they have to charge to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So
I believe they have to make a
so
charge.
if he gets those 10 models into the Morpot,
Yeah.
then
That stops that.
yeah, we saw a retreat from.
The Death Riders there, and you can see they're just running around here trying to go up that flank. Here,
Get a
nothing
charge in.
surprising, and there's a cut across getting ready, just eyeing that Stonehorn up, saying,
Yeah,
"Well, meat's back on the menu."
that's a lot of meat.
That is a lot of meat,
And a lot of bones. I
a
suppose.
lot of bone. That's what they're after. Look at those lovely horns. That's a lot of bone.
Ivory count as bone.
Yeah, it is a bone. Ask a-
Is it?
Well, teeth are
Isn't
bone.
that teeth are bone, but
And ivory, I would say,
I'm
horns are like teeth.
yeah, they are like teeth, but they're also hair. But
They
that's
are
more
hair.
nails.
That is
Yeah.
true. They are not. That is a good thing. That you're right. It could technically be called nails, or
Yeah.
well, I guess keratin or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Gra-
title one. Yeah, you're right. It might not be considered bone, even though it would be part of a skeleton.
Yep.
It's not actually bone.
So if when the
calcified,
tithe
though.
collectors comes and you try to hand them ivory, is that some sort of tax evasion?
Yeah, or is that some sort of like a counterfeit bone? Is that a thing? Fool's bone?
Yeah.
Is that fool's gold, right?
The grinders of the when they try to make this substance, whatever, they
And it's
make
like
the gold.
subpar now. Oh no, it's
Get
just
this
ruined.
crap again.
So the charge on the
Sorry
stone
about that. Yes, what was the charge on the stone horn?
It's from the Death Riders. They got and they got some mortal wounds on the impact. Yeah, the 3 impact hits. Yes.
2 hit points.
2 wounds taken
2
out of
wounds
those 3.
taken,
Yeah,
yep.
so we warded one of the 3 mortal wounds from the impact there, from the Death Riders. Meaning there's just 2 more wounds to take. He doesn't even have to use Catacross there.
Yeah, Catacross just.
He's
hang
just
in there,
watching.
Don't kill it for me. But
That is also interesting why Catacross is just standing there. Why isn't he joining the fun?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is
But
there-
I
is
always
there-
see
is
that
it-
when people
isn't
play
it still
Catacross.
his charge phase though?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's true. Catacross might be charging. We'll see. But it's also something you don't see Catacross really moving anywhere when you see him
No.
playing. All the times I've played against Catacross and OBR, it's just standing there having a picnic,
Yeah, but
watching everything.
It's been having his Mortec guard around it.
Yeah, that
This
is true.
the
That is true.
different-
This time he doesn't have the Mortec at the same time. Maybe he has to actually do some legwork. Oh, and here's the charge from the Morghast. That's an 8. That is enough to get in there. An 8 actually
in
gets
charge.
it gets into the butcher as well, and
Yeah.
that's what he wanted.
Yeah, and now he can
Because now he
pile.
can
If
just
he
pile.
piles as close as possible to the butcher, he needs to stay as close to the stone horn, of course,
Yeah,
to
he
be
might not-
a legal pile. But that should be enough to screen away from the 3-inch pile
Yeah.
from the stone horn.
Exactly, and mainly because the second model that is moving now, it's not that close to the Stonehorn, so
Yeah,
that means
so
he can utilize that
yeah,
distance in his pile in when he's moving
And
over
he can-
towards the mob pot.
That should screen it out, because he will probably not kill the stone horn.
But he also might not need to activate there first, causing the Stonehorn to activate first,
Oh yeah,
and then he could pile in, but then he'd have to be confident he can survive the Stonehorn.
yeah. Because he can't lose. Because
The thing is, I don't think
He
he can
need-
kill the
he-
butcher, because
yeah.
if he kills that butcher, the Stonehorn will
no,
go
I
and
don't think.
interrupt it.
I don't
will
think
go-
the stone can do that, because he needs to go. The Immortals in the middle fails their charge. They were aiming for the stone horn.
Yeah,
there.
that was a long charge though, so it's not a surprise that this
Yeah,
charge
something
failed.
like a
I'm
9
looking
or
at
10
yeah,
at least.
like at least something like that.
And I'm thinking, yeah, because he needs to either kill the butcher or get both of his winged skeletons.
And the thing is,
Okay.
I think that he has to survive that Stonehorn either way,
Yeah.
and because of that, he might have to let it fight first. The problem, of course, is that the butchers are too. There's a lot of activations that Kalle has that he can sift through as well, just to draw out that weight to get the Stonehorn in place and really stop this battle tactic. And this is really down to how much they care about the battle tactic. The objective is still safely in the Stonehorn's hands.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Nobody can do anything about that. They can't take down the Stonehorn with those 2. Morgan. So
Stonehorn on the mountain. Stonehorn on the mountain. That's it.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely. Stomp the Bone Shaper,
Yeah.
which passed the wounds over to
the Immortals.
to the bodyguard.
Yeah. So
So if we could get a table boss to sort of perhaps send Jesper and Aaron to check on the Philip versus Albin game.
that would be lovely. Yes.
Yeah,
So we can
so
get
we
an
can-
update for table 2.
Yeah. And actually, if we could use that, if you can,
I'm
you
gonna
can
see if I
keep
can locate
see
the
if you can
game.
find it in the
Let's see
hall.
if we can locate that game here. Just a sec. I believe it is.
This,
No, let's see. Might it be? I think it might be the one out there. Yes. This is going to be the rough one to to figure out
yeah.
because it is kind of in the perf.
There we have the game. Yep.
We have the game up here, and it is. hard to say exactly what is going on, but we do see that there's magma dot is not there. We have
Zombies in probably.
zombies somewhere, and that looks like a mortar there. It's very hard to say exactly what is going on from this distance and what the state of the board is, but we do see a zombie dragon, we do see a mortar. Things are probably quite hot in that fight. And we'll just see if we can get an update on what is going on there.
Yeah. Is that a dead magma droth we see on the other
It might
end?
be a dead magma droth.
It looks like it.
So we're looking at that and see what we can find out.
Yep, we'll as soon as we hear from the table boss on how that game is progressing, we'll let you know as well. But in the meantime, here we have, I think we have a fight over, is it there?
So we got a small update here.
Yeah, sorry, let's have a look at the Morgas piling here. It's like as we
Yep. Okay,
suspected.
So what is the piling now? How is he expecting to? Okay, he has to go for the
He's going for the butcher.
Yeah.
Oh, this pile though, I am not sure if that's the correct way, because
But what's stopping the Stormer from piling back
yeah,
those 3 inches?
now
and
he
grabbing
doesn't. Yeah, he should have. If he should have sort of wedged in, wedged that Morgas. See if we can get a closer shot there. Sorry, if you zoom out. So just in the it's sort of that triangle between the butcher, the Stonehorn, and the Morgas. If he could have wedged one of his models more into that,
to just edge
sort
him
of
out a bit more.
make the Stonehorn move around it.
Yeah, and maybe stop him from getting within 3 inches. It's not a given, but that would be what he could do to try to edge him out.
Yeah. That 5-inch redeploy that Kalle got off on the
That
Stonehorn.
really made a difference for the Stonehorn.
Yeah.
Meaning that he would be in reach of piling there.
This way though,
The butcher's gone. No surprise.
Yeah, I can't see how.
But I think that those 3 inches is going to be enough to get it in the range of capturing that.
Probably is. Yeah. So, what were we saying about the Philip versus?
So, Sable 2, we got a tiny update here. It's still kind of early to say anything. But it seems that we have had 3 turns from Philip.
Yep.
And so
He succeeded
far
on
he's
2
been
and
doing well.
failed his third battle tactic though.
He did fail his third battle tactic, so he went 4 points, 5 points, and then 3 points. Albin has had 2 turns so far, doing 4 points and then 2 points, and now he's in on his 3rd turn. So they're bottom round 3, which is quite quick to be honest.
Yeah, quite quick. Yeah.
For those 2 armies with a lot of models.
Yeah. And a very deciding bottom of turn 3.
And I think it's very much happening now in this turn 3.
Yeah, if Albin gets a big score there, he should be at 11. While
we'll have to see if we can see him turn his around too, like we saw him on stream earlier.
Yeah.
And really capturing the field. It is a big ask to deal with that zombie dragon with that ignores all the rend, and you have the Neferata most likely for another rend ignore. It is hard to deal with this whole. They have a lot going for them.
Yep.
So we'll have to see what happens there. Are we following that along?
We are seeing attack.
What's happening here now?
I am hoping we are fighting not down by the Morgasts, but up by the mountain.
Yep, it looks like that is the thing that is going on here. We have some dice being rolled. These are.
You should probably be attacking
One
with the almost dead Stonehorn, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, this looks like it's probably the feet of the Stonehorn. All the attacks into the Bone Shaper again.
Yep.
He really wants to do something about that general, take him down.
I think that it's correct move.
Yeah, because he doesn't have -1 damage. That's what he has. It's on that of the Death Riders, and I don't think the Death Riders are as core to the army, because you have to remember that that's his only Galician champion. The general is the only Galician champion that Vida has. And that could lock him out of scoring battle tactics.
Yeah, he has already done his cunning maneuver, but...
Yeah, and the other one requires 2, so he's not going to be able to do that.
That is a Mortis.
1 damage to the
All
ship.
wounds but 1 going to the bodyguard. But I mean, that's also since he doesn't have you can he can't use his ward on the Mortis guard, so that's a good way. Just punching the bone ship is a good way to damaging the guard.
Yeah, definitely. And that is the main issue about, like, we get that he did the cunning maneuver, but he's paying the price for the cunning maneuver now.
Yeah.
For that gambit.
Yeah.
Very much, because now he's generally just stood there between these two, passing more and more damage along to his bodyguards.
Yeah, but as long as he can do that, he's in good shape. But we only seen like 3 of the Mortis guard.
So this is going to be a slugfest, and he can live that long as long as he doesn't lose his general. He hasn't lost anything.
Yeah, but he has 3 left of the Mortis guard up there by the crown spine, right?
Look here.
So he's slowly losing them.
3, 4, I would see. 5 maybe.
5 even.
5. There's still 5 there. There's just 1 lost.
And they're being resurrected by
Captain. And that was the one that got back, so... these Mortis guard are tough nuts to crack. So this time around, it's 3 on the crown spine. Maybe 3 can do it better than 2 did last time.
Probably. Yeah, we'll see if we can get some word from Christian.
Yes, definitely. We'll see if we can get him in here later. Both Christian and Adam to see what happens.
Sure, if he's at the tower. I'll have a quick look actually.
Yeah. So we are just going through the motions here, seeing how much damage we can get on that crown spine. And if we're reading that dice right, that is 16 wounds in on the crown spine. Yes, it is. That should be enough to level it down. With a little bit of optimism. And that means that it's one step closer to not being an issue for Fridholm. Which is pretty much what he wants. I mean, he hasn't lost much yet. The only question here is how many points can he score? How quickly can he get those points with all these stoners standing around camping these objectives, right? And you also kind of have to ask yourself, what is the game plan for Kalle here? Because he knows taking everything down in this army, that's, as he has experience now, it's not going to happen. He doesn't have that through punch, unless he of course consolidates his army into just taking one thing out. Oh, there we go. There's the stone gone, and there's no surprise with that. Yeah. And as we saw there, the 3 Mortis did 16 damage to the crown spine, which is impressive for tanking units, right? And of course also taking out the last 2 wounds on that stone.
Hi.
So
we got an opportunity for a little interview break.
Yeah, interview
we
break.
Can do that?
Yes, of course. Do you want me to do that, or would you prefer to do it yourself?
Yeah, you can do that.
Are you ready?
I think we can have both Adam and Christian on. Get a chair for them.
Yes, of course. Let's give our chairs up here, and we are going to take a quick break from our table here, and we're gonna see what they have to say about this game.
Adam, Christian, where are you going?
Come here, you two.
Cheers.
No, you're gonna have a seat here.
Here, go ahead
and have a seat.
There you go, have a seat.
Am I gonna sit in the middle?
Yep. You do that.
Go ahead. I'll just hang out back here. So, boys, what happened?
I went first.
You went first?
Yes, I tried to shoot the blood knights and they didn't die.
Yeah.
And that's
It was
the short version.
What was the reasoning there?
So Adam's list forces me to go first because he basically just shuts out the whole table, so I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I have to go first, and I also get my auto unbind into range of Neferata, so I can stop the rend immunity, and then I need to win Prio. That's basically my game plan, so I can continue to do damage with my rend.
Yeah.
But then I need to really reduce the amount of blood knights. So I had to go up, put everything into them, didn't really go. Well, I think I killed 6 with my whole shooting phase.
No, you killed 5.
5 even.
Yeah, and the thing was that you rolled really well, but I rolled really well on my saves.
Yeah, okay.
It was like the 3 other cannons that came in.
Yeah.
I rolled 2 6s.
Yeah, exactly.
And only took 3 damage, and I rolled hot with my ward saves as well.
Yeah, exactly. That was some sort of.
So it was first shooting phase was 5 Blood Knights and 4 Dire Wolves, I think, died.
Yeah, exactly. After the Thunders, I realized, okay, now I need to do damage. Try to do something, reduce other stuff, because shooting the Ironclad into 2+ save knights is a waste of the Ironclad. So then it felt like, okay, this is probably over now, and then I was surrounded by everything, and
So the thing is, then I just charge in and try to enclose the Ironclads, and I've played enough KO to know that I should go for the Ironclad.
Yep, the Ironclad is the target.
Yeah,
because
so
falls out.
because he retreated into the Ironclad with the Thunders.
Of course.
So then I killed the Ironclads with only space for 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4,
Thunders.
4 I think.
Yeah, we saw
That only came out.
I positioned my Aether Chemist a little bit wrong, because otherwise I could have piled away and then gotten more space, but suddenly I realized, okay, my Aether Chemist is standing here, and now the Ironclad is stuck.
Yeah.
Christian, did you keep your frigate out of the Alpha Strike, or was that committed to the action as well? Or
It just went. So the frigate, the idea with that was basically it goes up, and then it shoots its two shots into something. The knights basically to do more damage to the knights, and then turn 2. That's when that gets into interaction.
And I think it's I see the comment here, and I wouldn't give him the charge into my knights. There were wolves in the way. There was stuff in
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
And then I also got the double turn, and then we called it.
Yeah, and that is definitely just ending
sort
it.
of sealed it?
Also with the frigate, since that's the damage for that is usually when the end riggers are in it.
Yeah.
But since I have to go first, Adam can activate the objective first away. So my end riggers, in order to score points, I had to go with them over there to actually get 2 points.
Yeah.
So that I'm not out of the game always after turn 1, but maybe after turn 1, which was not happening now.
Would it be possible for you? Do you think do you have an ability to, if you were to give the turn away and then bank on that double, to actually open up enough of the line to go somewhere?
I think the hard part, if I give the double away, 20 zombies pops up in front of me, and it covers the whole board, and I think I can never get into it, because then it scores 4 points, I get 2 points, then it scores 5 points. So
it is an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, because my double turn, if I go first, I will kill 20 zombies basically, or something else, and taking the double doesn't really accomplish anything. I need a double into the power pieces.
Yeah, into the power pieces.
And the thing is also that since I deployed 30 away from his caster, I would get the 2+ unrendable on my Blood Knights, and then it would be no chance of
then there's no way you're taking them out. Yeah.
So if Adam hadn't gotten the double, would that have changed the game completely?
No, as I said before, I would sit there, I would think for 3 to 4 minutes, and then we would probably shake hands. I would try to say, okay, can I do something? And the answer is no, you can't.
You could have maybe scored some more points, but there was already a lot of zombies on the objectives. And
Exactly. You could have gotten
and if he takes the turn, I activate my objective as well.
Exactly.
And I've locked his remaining boat in combat, so he can fly high. So he's kind of stuck where he is. Yeah, so it's rough.
It is a rough matchup also when you have those really durable and really mobile pieces.
Yeah, it was
that
one.
you
This
have
was a matchup I
to
didn't want because it's really hard to
Makes
KO
sense.
into this.
It is because it's both mobile and durable.
Yeah. How are you in battle tactics now?
Really bad. I think I got one this.
That's the one thing you could have gotten from winning that priority.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. Okay, if I win it, at least I can get some tiebreakers. But now my tiebreakers.
So it's either go for the win or go for the battle tactics.
Because I did one battle tactic now, so I'm even worse on my tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Because this puts you in the final.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And we have another table between Philip and Albin.
Looks
if
good
Philip
for Albin,
wins
I think.
that, it was up in the air with last time we played.
Okay.
As far as we've seen, it's been
That's
right
interesting.
team, I think.
Because the thing is, I've struggled to get my way here because I've faced a lot of the people in the top brackets.
You definitely have.
My strength of schedule should be off the charts.
Yeah, twice my strength schedule going into this game, I think.
Yeah. So if Albin wins, then it's gonna be interesting to see
because that's
who I get paired up with.
Yeah.
Because
You've already played Konstantinos, and he's the one that...
I played Konstantinos, I played Albin, I played Nils, which is up there as well. And I played you. Yeah, and you're also up there. Yeah, that's 4.
So they're all 4 ones the people you played, in other words, more or less.
Yeah, just look at the top 8 in front of this day. I faced most of them, and now Ronja is out. I faced Konstantinos, so
we're looking quite a bit down.
You will
here.
probably face maybe Philip, regardless of what's the score there. He has pretty good.
If he loses that game, he's
12, 30 or
something like that.
So maybe someone on 3-1 or someone on 2-1 with good tiebreakers then maybe if they win.
Yeah, exactly. Someone else.
So unless Philip wins this game,
because then of course
gonna be
we have the
interesting.
mirror.
Yeah, and then we have the mirror again, and that's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, you need to get prepared for the final table.
Yeah.
Gonna go lay down,
into the sun.
drink some coffee,
Go meditate, become one with the universe, achieve nirvana. You can
become
do it.
one with the dice rolls, the dice gods.
Exactly. Receive all your blessings. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And thanks for the fun game anyway, as far as keeping the suspense. Take care. See you soon. And there we have it. Thank you guys for hanging out in the studio.
And let's get back to the game.
Let's get back to this game. So let's see what kind of updates we have here now. The board stage looks pretty much the same. We can see that one of the Morgas has been taken out by the Stonehorn, but it hasn't moved. Why did it not pile? Why did it not pile?
Spine lost a level, and that's a shame that he didn't pile down, because there's no reason at
I
all.
don't see why that would be the case. Maybe he forgot about it?
It should be.
He just got so excited about killing with his Frost Lord that he forgot about actually stopping the the battle tactic when he had the opportunity to. Maybe our perspective is off and that is more than 3 inches, but I don't think so. I don't think that he would be outside or 6 inches in this case, of course.
And we are into Kalle's turn 2.
Oh, yep. And Bobbin is finally here. We've been hyping this up for you, and this is how you reward us, Bobbin. It's a shame. Yeah, we're hearing a boo here from Jesper.
Anyway, you will be able to watch this back.
Definitely, and there's still a lot of game left to enjoy.
Yep.
So don't worry.
Eye for an eye.
Yep, because he lost his Stonehorn.
Yep.
And he also lost the Butcher.
Yeah,
so.
but apparently that isn't an as important eye as the other.
But we also know something that we have to notice here is that Vida did not score any objectives on his turn 2.
He did not.
So he has some work to do here now to try to take some points from the objectives. And it is of course the late game. Both of these armies, well, one of the armies more than the other, especially the Osiric. They are playing for the late game, but they are both about staying on the board with durable pieces. The Stonehorns are more explosive.
The OBR will get in a better position as the game progresses and more objectives are being activated.
Because they slowly march up the field, very thematic.
But the Stonehorns, Kalle should be able to score 4 points this turn, or 5 even.
Well, we also have a couple of more reported games here.
We have Viking versus Thomas, and Rickard versus Max, and Philip versus Felix.
Yes.
The Philip on the table 2, but the other. Let's bring them up and see what tables we are talking about.
Oh yes, so we are talking about.
Let's see here. Where the tables are. Yeah.
So we are looking at tables.
Felix,
table 10.
Table
Felix
10.
and Philip host, and here we saw Felix's Moth Tribes, the ones we were talking about, the 6 stone horns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very similar to this list. Against Maggotkin, again, I think you already played Nurgle the last time around.
Yeah, I think so.
In Field Post, and that was a 27-7 to Felix.
Yep.
So what we can take from that is that Stonehorns work very well against Nurgle.
Yeah.
Currently.
Trample that with that pestilence.
Then
to
we
the
have
mouth.
Rickard versus Max.
And that is table 12.
It's table 12.
Rickard was
So Rickard's playing Korn, and Max is playing Cities of Sigmar. That's our Halahard player.
had an interview with Max
once again, poor Max. He has played, I think, out of his 4 games, at least 3 of them have been against anti-magic armies. Yes,
yeah.
and then he played against. So he's played Korn. He's played the Ossiarch, the anti-magic ones, and then he has to play Korn again when he's playing Halahard. That is just so rough.
He brought Halahard to the wrong games.
Yeah, and especially since he didn't have anything other than Halahard to bring in the list. That is rough to just meet.
That's the thing you can do with if you choose to play in this format with the Cities of Sigmar. You could perhaps bring another city for
maybe bring a Tempest. That's what I was gonna say. Or something else that can deal with these, like a shooting army against Korn can put you in a much better position. A Tempest Eye would probably be much better suited
just
for that.
having a tanky sort of.
Exactly, something tanky.
You see a Stonehorn here move up against, along with the Kronstein?
Yeah, we have a Stonehorn joining here, and that is still yet another regular old Stonehorn dudes, Beast Riders.
He needs to be able to take those 4 remaining guards out.
He has to get rid of those petrol. There's still 5 of them. If he can't
kill them,
there's still 5 of them.
That's the 5. Oh, sorry.
Unless he lost one. No, actually, you're right. There's just 4 standing there. One more is gone.
It's down to 2/3 of the unit size. But he absolutely needs to kill them because he needs to prove that he actually can do something and so far, sure, he can. He's more models on the table on the active objectives than. But he won't be from the next battle round. One of the other
the other objectives are activating now, and the Bone Rippers are moving up on them.
Yeah. So time is ticking.
Time
not
is definitely
only on the chess clock.
Exactly.
But down there as well.
We had one more game to report on, didn't we? Yes.
Viking versus Thomas.
Thomas, exactly. And where is that? That is number 9, table number 9. So
just made the charge.
A 3-inch charge there. That's not a lot of impact hits, and he really needed those impact hits because Mortal Wounds is what's gonna take these guys down. So that is rough. So in the game,
he needed a 12 or something like that. So we had Seraphon with Thomas and.
So Viking with the Moth Tribes as well, I guess. One damage, sorry. So Viking with the Moth Tribes against Thomas's Seraphon. And we also saw the Moth Tribes win this one with 23-9.
It's good for the ogres on the mid table.
Yeah, this scenario seems to be working really well for our
I guess if you can get the early win with an ogre, then you have sort of a big lead on the scenario points already.
We have another
and the
charge
other
here. Oh, yeah. The guy who was sightseeing went back home to take care of that last little Morghast. I don't know if that was necessary because he still has the Frostlord fighting that Morghast.
Yeah, but I mean, he is to engage those middle guard, then he will need both of those beasts.
He will need to have 2 of them to be able to make enough of a dent. 4 mortal wounds on the charge to the Morghast.
Oh, that's good.
That wards one of the beasts, I can see.
It kills the Morghast.
Yeah, so the Morghast is gone.
Yeah. So, Kalle really wants the double now to be able to charge that center objective with both the stone horns and really put some heavy pressure.
He's down to his last 4 beasts now here. And they really have to work on those Immortis, take those guys out. Because they're going to keep coming back and keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
So to recap this game for Bobbin now,
Yeah.
So Kalle has a 1-drop list,
Yeah.
so he got the choice of
Yes.
first turn,
Yeah.
gave it away to Vida, and activated the farthest left objective there on the top of our screen. Yep. And Vida took a cunning maneuver. He tunnel mastered his one single champion up there, his general, and scored his 4 points by that.
Yep.
And Kalle responded in his turn 1 by charging up.
Yeah.
He was charging in with the Kronspine and doing the heroic action.
The monstrous rampage with the other
the monstrous rampage.
That got a 12 on that and managed to get him behind the enemy lines.
Yeah, and he was really trying to get at the general.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, he was boxed in.
And by pouring damage into that guy, trying to damage, if not him, at least the guard, but they tanked a lot. You have 2 failed monstrous actions up there at the corner.
Both the roar and the stomp. So this the stomp from on the Immortis failed, and then we had a roar attempt on the general, and it also failed.
Yep. And so we've seen Vida tank the Stonehorns in a really tough way, and the Kronspine hasn't really done much, and of
it's
course
down to
the
level
stone.
down now, right?
Yeah, he's a level down now as well, and it did like 1 or 2 damage into the guards, and so he was sort of warded off the Stonehorde counter charge, or the Stonehorde charge rather. And now we're into sort of the second wave of the game.
Yep, this is kind of what decides everything. Yeah.
So the Kronspine goes first with an all-out attack.
Yeah, and of course because of the fun shenanigans there, he can split it to his friend, the other Stonehorn there, and of course since the roar didn't appear, we have an all-out defense too. On the Immortis.
On the Immortis guard.
The question is, does the Kronspine reach the Bone Shaper?
If it piles, no. Oh, it does have a 3-inch.
It does have a 3-inch reach. I don't know if it reaches the...
that shouldn't be enough, I think.
I'll have to see here.
It looks more like 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll have to see. It's kind of hard to see with the terrain pieces there.
Yep.
We'll have to see, because if he can't get to that hero and circumvent that damage reduction buff on those Immortis, that's going to be so much harder to take them.
Yeah, that's much better.
And that is also a big thing here. No, it doesn't seem like it's reaching there now. That's what we're getting information here, that it is too far. And that means that, like, you have to remember that the power of these beasts is that they do more than 1 damage per attack, right?
Yeah.
But when you reduce that by 1, suddenly it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
They do get +1 damage on the charge on their homes, so there's still a damage 4 turn into damage 3, which is sizable. And with the right amount of rend, I believe there's rend 2 or so. So there is definitely rend there, and if the roar goes through and you don't get that plus save, you didn't get the Mystic Shield off once again.
All the Immortals good.
So now he's just going for that Kronspine, taking that Kronspine out.
That is right.
And that is the way to go.
And probably we will see the Kronspine go down.
It's very likely, because last turn 3 of them did 16 wounds, now there's 4 of them hitting it. So we're thinking it's reasonable to assume that it will take a bunch of damage here.
But the next priority will be really interesting, because it will be very much deciding, because Kalle can put a lot of pressure on Vida if he wins it. But if it doesn't, then Vida has
and at the
great
same time
control
here also,
of the board.
It doesn't really matter. 14 damage on the Kronspine. That's a little
he
bit
can
low
make that roll.
expectation. He can make it, but the odds are against him.
Yep.
However, it's also here worth noting now that at this point, since Kalle has gotten to dictate where the first 2 objectives are, it doesn't really matter who goes second now.
Yeah.
The objectives will be on Vida's side regardless, pretty much. The one on the edge is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
So that's the one that Kalle wants to activate.
Yeah.
But in the long run, that's not going to make a huge difference.
no, it's not. And Kalle will
can't
want
really
to win
split,
this,
yeah.
and then Vide will probably activate the one by Katakos.
Yeah.
And well, that's just something you need to accept. But it doesn't matter for Kalle because he'll be 2-1 on the objectives anyway.
He still has the upper hand there.
So it's no issue at all.
Yeah. Until that Stonehorn dies at the top.
Yeah.
He still has that objective.
Yeah, it does.
And that's like the challenge now for Vida is to take down that Stonehorn.
Yeah,
because
it
that
is.
is the objective he needs to grab right now.
It is.
He is hurting for points, and he really needs to get that objective.
He should be lucky though that Kalle did not pile down the Stonehorn the
Frost Lord, yeah.
The Frost Lord.
Yeah.
So he has
two
those
points.
6 points.
Yeah, there's 2 points that he could have gotten 0 points that round.
And that would put him at 4-9, and that's a whole turn behind Kalle.
Oh yes.
But now it's not.
No.
And we've seen the Stonehorn attacking into the Immortus.
Yes, that could be it. Doesn't look like a lot of saves. Let's see, we have lost 1 Immortus, is that it?
Or just a
was
couple
it
of
just
woods.
it's just wounds. Oh no, it's one dead. It was almost dead. Yeah, 1 more. It was very damaged. Yeah.
2 up saves.
Yeah, it's the 2 up saves, -1 damage.
Yeah.
6 ward.
It is. Oh. Well, yeah, Kalle really needs this priority.
Yeah, and that was a Stonehorn on the
So
charge.
is this here we see the Crossbind roll?
Yep, this looks like it.
And he rolls not enough.
I do not think it's enough. And he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
As can be expected there. There was a lot of effort put in by Vida to take that Crossbind out of the equation.
Yeah, he ignored that existing
Yeah.
Stonehorn, but that Stonehorn is very lonely by now.
And also, he doesn't get to charge anymore.
Yeah.
Which is going to be rough, because those impact hits are really what's going to make a dent in those Immortus Guard units.
Yeah. He succeeded his eye for an eye
Of course,
through killing the Mogast, and he controls
2 objectives, and it's more, of course, so that's 5 points.
Puts Kalle in a 9-6 lead.
Which it's not insurmountable by any.
Oh, here's the priority, and the 5 and
a
4.
So Vida has the priority. That's big. That means that Vida gets to dictate the course of this game now. That is a big thing going on here.
That is very important.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
can
of
sort of. That means.
You can take a minute here to consider things.
Yeah, Kalle should probably activate the
Oh
down one.
he needs to spread them out too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's not. I wouldn't bet on Vide being able to kill that Stonehorn, so he will
Not
probably
unless you
only
get something
grab.
else in there. No.
Yeah. So we can only sort of score for 2 objectives, or 1 objective
One
actually.
objective, yes, and a bounce
So
active.
he would be equal after this, 9-9.
Yeah.
Vide takes the turn.
He could possibly get 2 if he manages to get enough models on that objective.
Yeah, but that's a big space. That he needs a lot of move.
You have a
then.
hero. If you
that's 2.
resurrect one dude, then get the 5 riders on there.
Yeah, that's
You're starting to challenge that.
each rider
That is
is
7
2.
plus whatever Immortus you have there.
The Immortus are on
have-
how many wounds?
I can't remember how many wounds they are a piece. But if they
Probably
come as
not
2
5
models,
though.
they could be 4 or 5. I can't remember.
Skull Tooth Entourage, was that the
Sculptor's Entourage.
And I'm afraid that's not anything.
That's
I
not
have.
even one of the old battle tactics there, so we're gonna have to add that manually.
Yeah.
If anyone has any idea what the Sculptor's Entourage does, they're 5 wounds. They're 5
5 wounds, so
Then-
that's.
then 2
then he
models
can
each.
contest
He
them.
can
yeah.
definitely contest it if he just gets a
He
couple
needs
more.
to
One more
a
unit
total
on
of
that.
6 units. Those 6 models, and I mean those middle ones can go up there. But let's go to Entourage. What does that tactic do?
Does anyone know? We don't have to bother the players too much about asking about it, but we'll have to find out later if that is the case.
Yeah, if the chat can enlighten us.
If the chat has any info on the new OBR tactics, we'd love some info there. This is news.
Anyway. So the general needs to contest an objective outside the territory along with the mortis guard. So which is basically exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, it's just what he wants to do. So that is just playing into his hand. Yeah. And as we saw here, just as we predicted, Kalle has activated one farther away because there are no models on it. So now, what has to happen here too is that he has to put something on that objective. Yep. But he can also just move those 6 Immortus guards up a little bit and stand and touch that objective just to capture it.
Yep.
That is a guaranteed point. And if he just also takes over the objective where the lone Stormer is,
if
he's up at 3 points on the objectives and 2 for the. Well, like that is 5 points. Then he's really in the game.
Yeah, then he really is in the game. That is true, and he can do that by. He moves up. Yeah, he needs to absolutely grab that tupper for at least for the
and he can choose
for the battle
use,
tactic.
Yeah, exactly. He can choose either use the Mortis Guard, the unit in the middle.
Yeah.
Either use those to cement that objective,
or use the cavalry,
or use the Death Riders. But so one of those units has to go up, the other has to go down.
Yeah, that's.
And whichever he chooses, perhaps it's easier for him to actually go and charge in with the Mortis. Because they are closer and the Death Riders have more movement, meaning that they can stay farther in the back and also at the same time screen up Catacross better.
Yeah, that's how I do it, because you also get the Immortus Guard down closer to the remaining Stonewalls. He needs to ignore those at Kalle's home objective now.
Oh yes.
Just go for the 2 objectives being activated on the center line.
Because he can start taking that space now. Taking the board presence, because then Kalle will have to struggle to take those objectives back. He will have to invest in that, and especially if there's 2 units of Immortus Guard standing there, that is going to be a
for
rough
now they're 9,
task.
But then Catacross will do his shenanigans and magic. So, losing this parity is really rough for Kalle.
Yes, definitely. That means that now he has to try to figure out how he can circumvent this situation.
But I would still say that he has done everything right, except for the missed pile.
Except for missing that pile.
But the way he played this game is, he gave it away. Made the right choices. So absolutely.
And these are like the small details you have to consider. How much movement you get out of your combat phase. Yeah. Which might be something you don't really think of a lot, especially when you're just playing the big smashy beasts that have a lot of movement. But Kalle can definitely do it. This game is still far from decided. Yeah, a couple of failed buffs and big scores by the Stonehorns. I'm seeing that we do have some more buffs on those Immortals now in the middle. There might even be Mystic Shield, which would be rough. Mystic Shield and the Ward perhaps. Exactly. I think this means we'll probably see them being moved up to the Stonehorn. Yeah. And just also be that present threat. Yep. That Kalle can't really walk away. That's a resurrection. Once again, another one comes back. Catacross is really. Really making you reconsider your life choices sometimes. Facing Catacross is like, how did I get here? That was the Bone Shaper. Oh, that was the Bone Shaper. Catacross healed the Bone Shaper instead. So the Mortis block in the middle, it has a 4-up ward against Mortals, which means they can absorb the Stonehorn charge. And that is their only main weakness is those mortal wounds, and how they shrug half of them. Half of them are gone. But we did get the Mystic Shield on the Death Riders, meaning that he's hoping that they might survive a charge. From a lone Stonehorn, which he's doing now, the Death Riders are moving to and that's just saying that he's going to put the Death Riders on the objective. Yeah, and that means they'll be alone, so he can sort of... he is vulnerable. Kalle might go for that objective with one of the Stonehorns. I don't know if that's a good idea, though. Why does he want to put that many models on that objective? What is the point of that?
But on the other hand, they are behind that terrain piece, which if Kalle wants to deal with them, he really needs to move down far to do that. They are not
Sure.
sort of protect. He is ignoring
But-
the center objective, which is good, I think.
Sure, definitely.
and,
but this is also somehow causing. I mean, it could be a bait.
He's moving. Is he moving in?
Oh, what? Wait a minute. How is he expecting to? Is he getting cocky here?
I think so, because he's got 4 Immortus Guard up there by the Stonehorn,
Yeah.
and if he moves
needs at least
his
one more
general
model
in there, yeah, then he needs to kill the Stonehorn.
Yeah, he has to kill the stoner now.
So I hope Kalle will go for a all-out defense on the Stonehorn, and because that those
is-
Immortus, are those Immortus the one with the buffed weapons?
No, the middle ones.
The Frostlord repoise 2-inch.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is kind of playing a little bit into Kalle's hand here.
Yeah, this is not a good move.
Yeah, a 16 charge is what
Yeah,
we're
but
thinking,
I mean,
that's no.
just-
Why would you do that?
He is bringing the battle to him now, and I mean, if he hadn't done that, then Kalle would have been. Well, he would have needed to choose which 2 objectives to go for, and he had his own. Sure, this removes that from Kalle, of course, by Vida going up.
Sure, he's
But-
moving models and stuff, but how is he expecting that to? Oh. Okay, he had no. That
The
was
second character, no, that's the Bone Shaper, isn't it?
What is it, Bone Shaper? Yeah, and then he had then he had the exactly
the named
Volkmortian,
character.
Volkmortian, moving
Volkmortian.
up there, but Volkmortian, yes, exactly. But he's
So
still
that's 10
only has
models
10
on
models.
Yeah.
That is not a good calculation.
Yeah, he's setting us up for a gamble here. Sure, if everything goes his way, then he will have.
Stonehorn isn't even hurt.
Yep. Yeah.
I
With an
don't
all-out
see-
defense. But
Yeah.
if he charges in and he's seen that 6 Immortus Guard is really a tough deal, but it is the Stone Lord.
Oh, he has made an 11-inch charge with a big block of.
Will he
bodies.
engage the second Stonehorn as well?
He might do that, to be honest, because that will tie them up,
Yeah, ignore
meaning that they
charge.
can't charge the other objectives.
But he's made the choice for Kalle now.
Yeah.
Because Kalle's next turn will be really easy.
Yeah, it's just to do what
Yeah.
can be done.
Yeah, try to win these fights.
Yeah.
Because he can't. He will want. He wants as many Stonehorns in the same fight as possible.
And what he can also do is, if the Stonehorn is really hurt, but survives this, Kalle can just retreat the Stonehorn
Yeah.
out of there
And keep
and still
control.
keep the objective.
Yeah.
So I think this is a bit of an overreach.
Yeah, he does not take the center objective. That's 12 models on the. Is the Frostlord is the one being engaged, right?
Yeah, and I think he is leaving the other one out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got 12 models in there, while Kalle has 20.
Yeah, so he has to kill the Frostlord to take that objective.
Yeah. He won't do that.
Yeah,
I hope Kalle.
this is like he's going for broke here.
Yeah. I hope Kalle will go for the all-out defense, not on the Frostlord, but on the
other guy.
Stonehorn up there.
The thing though is that now
deny.
the Frostlord, if the Frostlord can survive, the other Stonehorn has a lower chance of dying here. Oh, and the Frostlord has been debuffed a bit as well, so it might have lower saves or such.
Well, sure, if Vida kills the Frostlord on this charge, then
Sure.
he's won a lot
Yeah.
on the gamble, but
Yes.
yeah.
But at the same time, this is a risk,
Yep.
and the question is he in a position to be taking these risks?
By winning that priority, he did not need to take a risk to win.
Exactly.
He could have played safe and
he
and
could
sort
give it
of,
another turn before
yeah.
he started making
forcing
gambles.
Kalle on the back foot.
Oh yes,
by,
oh yes. But we'll have to see if this pays out.
Yep.
This is a gamble. It can definitely pay out. And if he might even take both objectives, and then he's just won the game. But
It's the Frostlord game, the all-out defense.
yeah, and that's what I expected this. I
Yeah.
expected this, and
With the debuffs, perhaps, then, yeah, sure.
But the most important thing is here denying points. That's what Kalle needs to do. And I am not confident that those 4 Immortals can take out that Stonehold at the top because it's uninjured. And that is like 2 turns of points.
Yeah, Kalle absolutely needs both of these guys to survive. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Either one of them dying is is a disaster. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, this is it makes for a very exciting commentary here.
That way we thank Vida for this action.
It's fun
10 attacks of Rem 2 into the Frostlord. 10 hits, 10 saves.
10
even.
saves there. I believe these are damage 2.
Ren 2.
Yeah, and damage 2.
I don't know that, but I suppose.
Yeah,
damage 2,
2.
yes.
Yes, exactly.
So he needs to save a couple of them at least.
There are good saves there. Oh, those are good saves.
Is that 3 fail?
Yep.
3 fail save for 6 damage.
See, and this is why gambling is a risk, guys. 3 damage.
And he wards so damage.
So
3 damage taken on the Frostlord.
Yeah, he warded half of that.
So that's a failed gamble by Vida, but he's still got his option for if he managed to kill the upper Stonehold.
Sure, but this is a gamble he did not need to.
No,
not in any way. So now the Stormholm is going to try to take some of those.
If he can kill one of those, then that's a lot of games.
Yeah.
All out attack, perhaps?
Yeah, but let's see, there's a couple of wounds in on one of them. So we just need to do 3 damage to it, to take one out. And that's not unthinkable in any way.
Fantastic, if you could do that.
Yeah.
What are they measuring here? Perhaps he wants to pile into the Bone Shaper again?
He could try to do that, possibly, because you only have to be closer to the nearest unit. It's not a model anymore like it used to be, where you got stuck in 2 models and you couldn't pile.
But he's still standing in the wrong angle, so that back part of the base needs to move a lot. So if it's just 3 inches, which it looks to be at this moment,
but we might be able to reach with the horns on at least maybe not all the attacks, but maybe the horns can hit the Bone Shaper.
I don't know if it's worth it though. Yeah, because he does not want to sort of put 2 or 3 wounds into the Bone Shapers and 2 wounds into the Mortis Guard, because then he kills nothing.
But but there is no. Wow, that is. That looks a bit like more than 3 inches, to be honest, because you have to consider
he's measuring that now.
Exactly, you have to consider that wheeling as well.
Yeah.
That isn't a thing. So he might reach with his 3 inches. I believe it's 3 inches on the horns. Or
sure.
at least 2.
But if you can get 3 wounds into the Immortus, that might be better to do by.
Yeah, because the bodyguard rule isn't optional, is it?
No, I don't think so. No.
So in that sense, it's worth getting whatever attacks you can into the motion.
Yeah, but the optimal result for Vida is sort of spreading the damage half and half.
Oh yes.
All out defense on the
Immortus, yep.
Do we have an all-out attack on the Stonehold?
No, because the Frostlord has already issued a command, and he's the only one left.
That's not a hero though.
No, that's the only hero, so he can't do anymore. There was the only command. That's what happens when you don't have a lot of heroes and you have just monsters without heroes on them.
Kalle is rolling. Can we get the camera down? See his rolls.
I can see some of it.
It's a save.
Okay.
D6 something 3.
3 hooves. I think he just did the punches and kicks first.
2 hits.
Yeah. That is a
1 save or 2?
1, I think.
2 saves.
Okay.
2 up.
1 going through, it seems, maybe.
And.
Oh no, they have a 2 up save against them. Yeah. But did you take some damage?
Nope.
No, you didn't. They didn't take any damage.
No damage at all.
My.
Oh well. Yeah, they are tough.
They are tough,
really tough
for
with
sure. And now the question is just if Kalle can survive long enough to hold these objectives. That's going to be his game now.
If Vide fails this, then Kalle has been given momentum.
Oh, yes.
The same kind of momentum he would have got by winning
the
priority role.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But on the other hand, if Vide manages to kill this, then he keeps that momentum.
But considering the saves that Kalle has been making.
Yeah, and what's that looks like
that's about
12,
10, 12, perhaps.
Well, are they
saves? 9 saves only.
9 saves.
That is not going to kill the Stonehorn.
Oh, it should.
I do not see that happening at all.
Is that 1 failed?
No, 1 succeeded.
1 succeeded. Ooh, it's 16 damage.
That is 8 failed. Yeah, but he can ward 1. That's it. He just needs to roll 1 5 up and 16 dice.
That's still rough when I say
it's still a lot of damage, yes. But it still has
16 damage into the Stonehorn.
Yeah.
What's the ward?
Yeah, we're looking at
what
the
ward does he have?
5 up.
5 up ward, so at least 1 5 up on the 16 dice.
That
should be
there we go.
expected.
There's like 5 of them or so. Looks like 5. Oh, 4. Okay.
So it survives on 4 wounds.
Yep. And that's all he needs to score that objective. That's 2 victory points disappearing.
Yeah, sure. Bone Shaper.
And 2 more victory points disappearing. Yeah, but okay, technically he does have 4 wounds left, right?
Yeah. Can the Bone Shaper do 4 wounds?
He did have a couple of wounds before. He did do 4 wounds to the other one.
True.
Done it once.
So if the Stonehorn can, the Frostlord then, can do some damage.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, this is tight because it's also the thing is here now. He's not just gambling the 2 points for the objective. He's gambling his battle tactic too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is 4 victory points he's gambling about.
Yeah.
And he could have just avoided that without even rolling a die.
One of those immortals from should
one
is
single
touching.
model more.
Yeah, and the rest could be screening off the Frostlords for the coming charge with the 4 award from
the mortals.
From the mortals, which means they are perfectly poised to accept it, to take the charge
they're
from
just
both
gonna
of
be
them.
there. He had all everything set up perfectly, and then just in the movement phase, he changed the narrative.
It could have been his plan from the beginning.
Maybe that was his plan from the beginning, yes. But he didn't take that final little win there, because why would he take this battle tactic if he wasn't confident he would score it?
Yeah.
Because it would be guaranteed if he just got that unit up there. And that would be 4 victory points. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
But he can still sort of salvage this by winning that fight. Using the Bone Shaper.
Oh, yeah, that was some saves going on here. Okay, not a lot maybe. He's looking to see how much damage the Frostlord can do. Oh, the Bone Shaper is not in range.
Oh, yeah, they defined that by the 3-inch for their horns.
Yeah, so maybe they found that. Oh, well, it wasn't in range, so.
But did the Bone Shaper didn't make a charge, no.
No.
Yep. Then that's that. 4 damage for.
Yeah.
4 damage on them for still 4 damage. That's close to killing one of them.
Yeah, that's one almost dead.
Smashing the Bone Shaper.
Oh, he did he charge? No, it can't be that he charged. Oh, he is within 3. Oh, it is within 3. Why would he pile into the bone? But then he must have used the horns on the Bone Shaper too. Otherwise, there's no point in piling.
Now I piled 1 time too many instead of 1 time too less. Too few.
Okay, let's see if the Bone Shaper can do anything now. There's 3 hits. That has 3 wounds, it looks like. So 3 saves.
Really important.
Saves
2 of them.
2 of them, I think, yeah. So that's not going to be enough.
2 damage. Oh, it means he survives.
Yeah. And there you have
Still
it.
survive. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a score of 0.
Going from 5 to 1. No, it's a score 1. He still has the bottom objective.
Yeah, he still has that.
But that's 4 points that he's missing out on. When he really needs that, he could go to 11 points here. He's going to 7.
Yeah, and I should since don't have the name for this battle tactic. So it's just a fail. It will be a blank row.
It will be a blank row.
That's 7 points for Vida. Interesting, really interesting.
And
'cause
now,
it really
now
turned the
Kalle
fight
really
around.
has to utilize this situation.
Yeah, but
How is he? Oh, does he just have to contest it?
he
He
only
just
needs
has
to
to control
contest
it.
it.
Oh,
Sorry.
he just has to contest it. That is an interesting wording. You don't even have to control the objective to score it. Oh well, okay, so we're up to 9.
Tactic.
That's a very strange battle tactic.
Yeah, Catacross is apparently rewarding effort.
Yeah, it's just that it's the effort that counts, it's the thought that counts.
It's Mr. Positive.
Yep. Positive reinforcement.
Oh,
Good
that's
boss.
kind of a what I don't know attitude of allowing failure.
Yeah,
That I
like, you don't
expect
really
from-
see him as the chill boss. You're like, well, you
Catacross
tried.
the good guy of
At least you
of the
tried,
water
dude.
realms. Yeah, you did your best.
It looks like we might have a result from table 2 as well. I can see that they are writing things down over there.
That is
Oh, sorry, table 2. Yeah.
table 2. That is really exciting.
Yeah.
We see Albin.
There's here, Albin talking and filling out a form.
Can
That
we get
might
some
be- yeah, we
body
don't have any
language
to-
reading here?
Oof.
That's a
this is-
sigh.
I think that might be a sigh of defeat. I don't know.
It might be, but it might be a sort of
It's kinda
exhaling after a
It
victory.
could also be just exhaling after something intense. It's very hard to say. We have to kind of like see what they have to tell us.
Are we detecting some sort of
Monetary incentives to making certain decisions in the game? Is that what we're suggesting here?
So is that the reason? So we got instructions from Bobben about doing that choice.
Yeah.
We'll have to report this. Is it
Bobben?
some form of manipulation of the games?
Yeah, is this really allowed in the rules pack?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe we need to add that section for next time. No tampering with the result of the games. Yeah, so this was it was still 2 points. You can adjust that to make it a successful.
Yeah, should do that as
Because
well.
that was a free wording. That's interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it was still a necessary gamble.
Yeah, it was. So I hope that Kalle will go for the center of his own objective.
Yeah.
But Kalle
He
is
still has to, he still has to
is
get
rough.
rid of those immortals because
Yeah.
they're not going anywhere.
Which is rough. The problem is he tries to,
Yeah.
but they're still not going
He's
anywhere.
still not going anywhere.
So this puts him on a good standing for the
Yeah.
current round. But
Yeah, these petrifex are
they really are the elite.
they are a pain to deal with when you have an army that is relying solely on high value attacks.
Yeah.
When you don't go weight of dice and you just have the high value attacks, it's gonna be rough.
It looks like we have some issue with the clock here. Our clock is not ticking.
It's not ticking. Has it been paused? Could we have our table boss just check on the clock to see if it has been paused, or if we have any? If this is a tech issue? Okay, we have a tech issue with the overlay. So we can't say for sure what happens to the clock.
Let's see if we can
I
sort
believe
of update this.
it's gonna be fine. We can probably see.
Sorry about that. We had to do some discussion and check it out.
We had an update here from Jesper.
Yeah. But Yeah, let's
See the time
see if we
here.
can get.
We have the time here, and it's still pretty chill. 20 minutes left for Kalle, 30 minutes left for Vida.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kalle needs a lot more time here now. He just has to go through the motions. But he has to make decisions quickly. He doesn't have that much time to spend considering his plan here. Not that he has a lot of stuff to consider. He just has to keep going. But it's important for him to score all the points he can now.
Yeah.
And there we have it. There we go.
Well,
Gaining momentum on the Death Rider, so he's going to try to take that objective to keep the pressure up on all the flanks. He's hoping to take out those, but he is kind of sacrificing his home objective for that.
I'm not sure.
It's probably
well,
because he wants the Val tactic.
Yeah, what he could do is charge that Stonehorn into that.
Yeah.
But
Then he has
but
to.
that is. They still have the
that's why the
4-up
Mystic Shield is there.
ward.
That's why the Mystic Shield is there
Yeah.
as well on the Death Riders. But yes, the mortal wounds on the charge are going to make a big difference on the Death Riders.
The risk is that he can't move those.
No. And if he doesn't get those guys out of there, he's gonna take the objective, sure. So he'll still have the advantage of objectives. He's not losing
Yeah, he's unless
the-
of course
the number of objectives he
No,
has.
he's not.
Because he's going from 2 to 2.
Yeah, he should probably
regardless.
retreat that
yes.
damaged Stonehorn.
The damage stone does not belong in that combat anymore.
No. So he retreats that, keeps the control of that objective, moves the Stonehorn down, charges the Death Riders, and
If he
so
kills them, he gets the bonus spell tactic. If he doesn't, he still has the.
So he scores at least 3-5 if he kills the whole unit. Sure. So he probably should retreat the Frost Lord, or should that stay? That's
Retreating the Frostfall won't do anything unless he gets a double.
That is true. Well, he denies another round of damage. But that is assuming that he can damage the...
Exactly. But he has to damage them somehow.
Yeah.
If he can get them below the
so
5
he needs
model
to gamble
count.
of either rolling bad on the save.
Yeah.
So the Frost Lord has the finest hour.
Yeah, Frostfall has 5 hour.
Yeah.
That means he's staying there.
Yeah, that means he's staying
Yeah.
in the fight. Oh, well, yeah, he needs to turn that around, but this is sad to say, I suppose. We need the...
Oh, yeah, he tried to do a Mystic Shield on himself as well,
Yeah.
but it was unbound.
Kalle needs the dice.
Oh, yes.
That's all he can ask for, because he can't maximize the output, really.
Oh, he's using
it's a
the
moment.
cauldron here to mop
So
up to
that
heal
Frost Lord
Axel.
needs to kill, I don't know, preferably hold the 6 Mortis Guard, but
at least,
30
yeah.
wounds he can't do.
Yeah,
But
no, but at
2
least
is
2
even
would
3.
be really good for him.
Yeah, but it's still, if he kills 2, that's still 4 remaining,
yeah.
and they are returning.
Oh, rolling ones on his heels.
And then the butcher himself even got tossed into the
Yeah.
war pot, and there's still not enough meat in that pot.
It's all just skin and bones.
Should we do the update?
We do have news, everyone. We have big news. We have the results from table 2.
Yeah. We are going to... We know our finalists.
We do
because
know our
won
finalists.
that game against Armin, which means that we have 2 players of 4-0.
Yes, and it was a tight game. Just as we were saying, the end score was 23 to Philip and 21 to Alvin. That is 1 battle tactic difference.
That is exactly how you want the games to progress on the final weekend of the Masters.
Definitely, these are so tight, these games.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Redeploying by the
move there for the
Death Rider.
Death Riders, yes. He's just trying to bait them closer to Catacross here.
No, he's trying to deny the battle tactic, I suppose.
Oh, of
mostly.
course, yes.
So if he fails that charge,
Yeah. Yeah, but it also means that.
redeploying good. 7-inch charge now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. But yeah, so we will have a final of 2 Soul Blight players with very similar lists, at least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
it will be interesting.
It will really be.
It will be very interesting to see what happens, and it's really could be anyone's game there.
Yeah, and hopefully that means that we won't have a game ending, a final ending after 10 minutes or 15 or so. That will not be decided.
Highly unlikely in that matchup. That will be a tight game all the way through.
I am looking forward to commentating on that for our next game. Because that is definitely the one we will have on the stream.
Definitely.
It's a proper final.
It's
the winner
a final
takes it all.
Yeah. We also have another result here, which I believe is somewhere along the lines of our bottom table, where it's Johan Rydell and Björn Franke.
Yep.
And I can see here that our Sylvanas player Johan actually got a win, 25-17, and Franke was playing. What was he playing?
Let's see.
Let's see if I can remember. I don't remember if that was table 3.
Yep.
Show list of
Björn Franke was playing
slaves. Oh, slaves. Yes, he was playing slaves.
Knights.
Slaves Darkness. One
the
Immortus Guard down just from the Blood Vultures. So far.
That's Mortar Woods from the Blood Vultures. Yeah, but they still had their 4-up save.
Oh, they're talking about the 4-up wards now for the Mortal Wounds.
So,
but
he forgot to
he forgot to roll those before taking off the model.
Yep, that means it's a take back.
That means that it's exactly. And since we are very hard on the take backs here, we have a strict no take backs rule in the battle pack.
Yep.
That means that you just have to accept that you missed something and move on.
12 in charge on this though. Oh, wow.
That's
is
gonna
good
be
for
impact
Kalle.
hits deluxe.
Boban, let your cheers.
Yeah.
Let out those cheers.
There you have your 12 in stoner charge.
Into the
Death Riders.
And that's for the battle tactic.
For the battle tactic.
And of course board space as well, because Kalle if he clears this unit, he has a free Stonehorn.
Yep.
If he doesn't, he's tied down on all of his models.
Sure.
No, yeah, that was really important for him.
But he's now got a Stonehorn on every objective.
Yep.
Still. So now they just have to win those grinds.
Well, one of those is down to 4 woods, and he hasn't retreated.
He hasn't retreated. Oh no, Kalle, what are you doing?
6 mortals.
6 mortals on the impact. But Kalle.
Yeah, all of them are going through.
That's 3.
The 2 dead.
Oh, 2 dead, yeah. Yeah, 2 wins each. But
Kalle has a lot of confidence in this Stonehorn. The one that took 12 woods last turn should take 4 woods this time.
This is disastrous for him.
No, he won't have.
Did he get too caught up in the opening with the Death Riders that he just simply forgot that he had a Stonehorn that could just stay there?
Could be. I mean, yep, Kalle has made it here, but he's not the most experienced tournament player.
See, Boban is distraught. Oh, Kalle. Oh, Kalle.
So this is the kind of things.
Those are 3 points waiting for you.
Yeah, that's well. What it's different. That's kind of experience. Don't overlook those things.
No, that is the thing. Like when you sit back and analyze these games afterwards, you really feel the effect of those mistakes. Like
because I fully expect that Stoner to die now.
Yeah, and you can see also that Vide also took a big gamble when he didn't need to, and he's gonna have to do some soul searching regarding that.
Yep.
And the same thing, Kalle is going to have to remember that his Stonehorns do not always have to fight. They can just stand there.
The retreat is an option.
Retreat is an option.
Now that the Kronspire is gone.
Yeah.
Oh my, so
this is still. It also means that the game isn't really tipping in anyone's favor. Yeah.
Yep, I was reading the chat here. Yeah, every single game so far is always 2 plus hours for the first 2 turns, then less than 1 hour for the remaining turns. That's mostly how the games are.
Most games are like that, yes, because have
Frostlord. So you have 2 mortars on the Bone Shaper from the Stomp and a Roar at the mortars in the middle from the Frostlord.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah.
No. But just as we were saying here about taking a lot of time on the start of the game, that's at this level you have to formulate a game plan, and you have to see the initial reaction and plan of your opponent, and then you really have to lay a plan for that. That's why it takes a lot of time, and usually also have a lot of like deciding moments, deciding fights, deciding spells and stuff like that.
Good.
It's gonna take time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for running over people with the summon that charge. But he's just doing it.
Good. I was
using
afraid
it to
that
run
Kalle
off
would run off the objective.
He might have gone crazy and got the hand across, but no.
No.
He just wants to do those extra impact hits from running over them.
But you often have once per game abilities that you want to use in that deciding turn 2 or 3, and those might even be summons or extra redeploys or extra fights, which
Buffs,
all of these things put the fights.
Yeah, because that's another decision you have to make. Another thing you have to plan for.
Another round of attacks if you fight twice, or
more dice rolls.
Yeah, and you got your extra buffs up, which means you want to engage a maximum number of fights in that turn.
And that's also where you do all this extra measuring, making sure that I have to get in there to reach this, and those little inches really matter. That is why it can take longer to really get those things happening, because once the ball starts rolling, you will you'll see more and more. Either now I have to keep the momentum, or I have to turn this around.
Yeah.
And becomes more reactive as the farther you get. But when it's being proactive, when it's being planned, when you really have to make the plan in advance, that's when you have to spend the time thinking about it. That is what we usually see. Except for those really, really seasoned players who play their army 100 times, they kind of know what the outcomes are a lot quicker.
Yeah, and what was I saying? Yeah. So that's an important part of the chess clock as well.
Oh yes.
So it makes it an important tool for the players to evaluate their own time, to know how much time they have to spend, because an experienced player will know how much time will I need for those final turns.
Yep.
You don't want to be clocked out, but you really don't want to sort of stress and make stressful decisions early in the game.
We had the Frostlord doing his attacks, not doing very much.
No.
Not even taking one off the board. And it's not surprising, but at the same time, he doesn't have a lot of choices there.
He should have retreated. That's an unnecessary fight for.
Yeah, it could very well be that. So now they're going for the wounded one that did not retreat. We also have seeing those things. We have a reported match here.
Yep.
Nils Wallberg and Philip Wall.
So
that's Soulblight versus Fireslayers, and that was a win for Nils, 24-15.
Oh, that's puts another Soulblight on there. We could get a full Soulblight podium here.
We could definitely do that.
Nils has, with that win,
and he has 5 completed battle tactics on top of that as well.
He has 3 wins and 1 loss, and it was a full set.
Full set, so it's 17 battle tactics.
Yeah, that's good.
That is one behind Konstantinos, I believe, at this point.
Yeah, we could very well see a full Soulblight podium, which is, well, they are strong, but they are not the only strong faction. I was talking yesterday about there actually being a spread of faction. This does not bode well for my arguments with my friend.
You were saying?
But Soulblight is not the only reigning faction, but it might very well be dominating the Swedish Masters.
Yes. We have a question here if we have any time limitation for the rounds.
Yeah.
We do not have a time limitation for... If you're talking about battle rounds, no, there's nothing specific. But we do have...
The 90 minutes each.
The 90 minutes each per player, yes. And of course, for the game round, the tournament round, we do have a time limitation, which is the 3 hours plus an extra 15 minutes
for administrative
purposes.
When the player runs out of his 90 minutes, he can do nothing.
Nope.
So Bobbin here has no, sorry, Bobbin. You're playing by
Bobbin, what are you doing?
Kalle here has 7 minutes remaining on the clock.
Yes.
When those 7 minutes are done, which most probably,
I mean, it's not.
he is on his turn 3, and he
he's-
needs to finish 2 more turns. So
And the
when
thing
he
is-
runs out of those 6:46, 6 minutes before, he can do nothing.
Nope.
He can't do any moves. He can't
It
do any
fails
attacks.
all his saves,
Yep.
everything. So that is going to be a big problem for me if he doesn't get it.
Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Bobbin. You're just so engrossed that we feel that, you know, whatever Kalle does, Kalle's game is your game. So we might as well just be talking about you too. But yeah, so here's also the thing, like, because he has a lot of dice to roll for his Stonehorns.
Yep.
There's a lot of attacks.
Yep.
There's a lot of saves, and those are going on his time.
Yep.
So if it just forces him to keep rolling those dice and spend time doing that, that could talk him out.
Yep.
The Death Riders, the Death Riders did succumb to the charge there. So
Wasn't the
you got out of the same. Yeah.
13 wounds made into 9 remaining wounds in that?
Yeah. So
unit,
that was a solid punch there, definitely. And he has cleared up that entire flank. He has an objective. He has an uninjured Stonehorn.
Yep. Oh, that's a dead.
And now the Immortals by the Frostlord are punching back there.
Yeah. We'll see if
But- Yeah.
the Frost Lord should survive this.
Yeah.
If he
The
doesn't,
thing
then
is,
the
though,
game is
he
really
is,
done.
Yeah, but he still isn't getting the 5 points
He,
because he didn't retreat. So he is losing a point there.
losing 2
Or
points.
2 points even, yes, because he's not in control of 2 objectives now.
That's very fully
So
unnecessary.
yeah, totally unnecessary, those 2 points given up.
Yeah, unless of course that Frost Lord. No, that Frost Lord has made his attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
So-
has not reduced those to
Uh,
less than 5. I believe there's 5 of them left.
No, but if they are 5, then it's still Kalle's objective because he had it last turn.
Oh, he did. You are right.
So
So he actually keeps it.
he keeps it
Because
unless
there's
they.
5 of them. Unless
there
they
are
kill
5 of
the
them.
Frost Lord.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll kill the Frost Lord. Because he's 5 hour now. So you are right. He actually did manage to keep hold of that, and that so then he does get to keep it. Okay. So he didn't lose any points, but he did lose the Stonehorn for no reason up there.
Yeah, fully unnecessary.
Fully
And
unnecessary.
I mean those remaining 4,
'Cause generally
soon to
it's
be
also-
5, I suppose. Again, what do you say?
Immortis,
Immortis,
yeah.
yeah, they can move down and finish the job on the.
Yeah, but also because if he got the double here, he would have that
Yeah.
secured anyway.
Yeah,
He wouldn't have to try to keep taking him off
yeah.
his home objective.
absolutely necessary. It's frustrating to, as a commentator,
Yes,
to see that kind of thing.
because that was a really unnecessary thing for him to do.
But sure, I have made plenty of mistakes
Oh, yes.
myself. I mean,
We are not.
you get caught up.
we
it's
are.
easy to sit here and sort
Yeah.
of-
We are not perfect in any way, shape, or form as players. No way.
7 damage on the Frost Lord from the Immortus cards.
But it's a shame to see when you you know that these players have this potential, and it's more like, oh no. Stop and think. But it's also he's stressed out now.
Yeah.
He's really low on the clock. He has 2 more turns to go. He cannot afford. He cannot afford to let that time slip away from him. So I get that he's just trying to do as little things as
Yeah.
possible and just get his points going.
That's a priority.
That's a priority.
And it goes to.
That's Kalle. Looks like.
Needs to decide quick now.
Yep. And you see that
Take it.
now is where he would really enjoy having that Stoner still
Yeah.
there.
That would be land him 5 points. Did the players notice that? Well, Kalle scored 5 points, right?
Yep. Kalle did score 5 points.
Good. So he could.
Oh, it's that. Yeah, 14. Yes. 14 to 9.
Yeah, he
This
could
is
have had an easy another 5 points.
Yeah.
So
but the
I
thing
don't
is-
know easy. It depends
the thing
on
is,
the.
he can still score.
tactics.
The thing, he still has 5 more points now,
Yeah.
guaranteed. Oh, not 5. Sorry, 3 points guaranteed. If he has a battle tactic, he'll have 5.
Yeah, and he can probably move up to gain that. If he could get that objective without engaging Catacross,
Oh yes, I think he can. Definitely.
so just putting himself outside of 3, close to Catacross, then he controls more objectives, so he scores 3 points by that. It depends on the.
But he is
battle tactic, of course.
He's taking time doing stuff that he probably doesn't have to worry about. He's really running on the clock here. He has to just get to work. Pick the battle tactic. Go. Get the points.
Yeah.
Keep that momentum because now every point
He
counts.
will, by doing this, he won't have any time left for turn 5.
No.
Risk is though that he will have no models in turn 5 anyway. This one is mine.
This one's mine on the mortar. That's
Good
not
luck
gonna
with
happen.
that.
Okay, that is wasted. So, because what he can do now is to just not fight, keep the clock, stay alive, and at least score 1 point next turn. Maybe even 2.
Are you talking about even retreating the Frost Lord?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Forcing Vide to try to kill them off the table. Because, he needs to kill both of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
For him not to be able
you're
to score.
absolutely right.
Yeah, because then he could at least,
he-
even if
he
it's
re-
just 2 more points.
Yeah, so he retreats out.
That's
Gets,
19. That's
he's on 17.
yeah.
That means that Vide needs to, during his 2 turns, he needs to
Yeah.
kill the Frost Lord and the Stonehorn
Yeah.
to be able to score enough.
So there's a Mystic Shield on the Frost Lord.
Kalle, do not run.
Oh.
We can have seen that
Kalle.
to his detriment.
Those are dice rolls you don't have time to make now. You don't have time to do that combat. Because you're going to be forced to a combat on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
And you have to have time for turn 5. He's going to clock out now.
Yeah, he's got it, definitely.
And that
gonna
is
work out.
bad news for him.
Yeah.
That means he might miss out on a point or 2 in the last turn. At least maybe 1 point. And that point could be decisive.
Yeah.
Have we looked at their grand strats? We have to check the grand strat here, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Defend
'Cause
what's ours.
I think that's going to be a deciding factor here.
He needs to have more in his own, and that's difficult for Vide to succeed on.
You, why is that?
Why is he moving on there? And while Kalle has tamed the land.
Defend what's ours shouldn't be an issue at all for Vida, I think.
Sorry?
Defend what's ours? That's
Depends on the deployment zone he needs to get to his
cut
own.
across back to zone
Yeah.
on 2
But
turns.
then
And then you have
he needs cut across to kill the
Vokmortian.
Ah, Vokmortian, that's true.
Vokmortian is there. You can
Yeah.
also use the general to just run back.
Yeah.
I think he has it in back. That's not an issue.
Yeah,
the
that's
the
true.
question here is, can Kalle do his? And what is Tame the Land?
Tame the land is if you control
Not
all
gonna
of the
happen.
objects on the battlefield that are.
So that is a fail. He cannot do that.
It's true.
I struggle
I,
to see how he can hold out.
He could have done more, but not with 1.5 minutes left
No.
on the clock.
No.
Will not be enough.
Yeah, and he shouldn't be stuck there in that combat. That's the last thing he does with that Frost Lord now. That's the last dice rolls he's gonna make now.
This fight is the last that Kalle will do.
Yeah. So I don't see any way that Vida is gonna lose to Snow.
All out defense. If I understand that question correctly, Lokata, is it good to have more battle tactics? It's good to have more battle tactics to choose from. If that's your question, because that gives you a variety of options to play. as long as those options are good. Of course, you can have a bunch of crappy battle tactics to pick from. But on the other hand, and they score points, but they are also tiebreaker in the
standings.
In the standings.
Yes.
So if we have a couple of 4-1s competing about the places on the podium, we will have
everyone but one player will
be at 4-1.
Will have at least one loss, exactly.
And all those are measured by the number of completed battle tactics from all over the tournament.
From the entire tournament.
So, I mean, mostly, as I said earlier, Kalle has done a good game from the beginning. There's a couple of misses later in the game, I'd say, and but the game plan was solid. And so, with a couple of sort of
little mistakes here and there, and very much about those small movements that he didn't consider too much. It was like the big moves, yes, he did great on those.
But when do you sort of step out the role you have for a stone horn is to fight. But you need to know when will it not fight.
Exactly.
When do I
There's
need
a value
to sort of
in knowing the multiple aspects. Because you have a very obvious aspect of the stone horn. It's a battering ram. But when is it just
10 models in a
10 models, exactly. 10 models just sitting there in a hutch, in a shelter underneath that battering ram, just sitting on that log and just taking a break and scoring points.
Exactly.
That has to be something you really know every aspect of as well. It's not a big part of how it works, and therefore it's also not a big learning curve either. Really, it's just getting that into your head that is a thing that they have to be able to do in an army that doesn't have anything else that does that. They don't have any other objective scorers.
Exactly.
They have to fill that role, even though that role is kind of minuscule and kind of uninteresting.
It's not as worthy. It's not as bellicose.
And it's not complex in any sense. But it's just to realize that sometimes they just have to do the simple thing. And it looks like we are all but timed out on Kalle here. He has 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 12
and he's
seconds.
counting dice.
Is he going to do some saves now? And as soon as he's done doing the saves...
roll those dice, Kalle. Don't think, don't look.
3 seconds and 7 minutes. Oh, Kalle. And that is Kalle timed out. Which means that he doesn't roll any more saves, he doesn't do anything else now.
We'll see how the players...
they're just talking now.
The Vida needs to make his roll, and he needs to he makes his moves, and he needs to play out this game, Vida. But he needs to do all the work. But that should take long for Vida.
No.
Vida. He did roll his attacks, and so Vida needs to sort of. That means that if Kalle manages to kill those Immortals with these attacks, which he won't, then he would have scored this one is mine. He ran out of time with 5 models. That is correct.
And there are 2, 3, 4 Immortals still there.
And the stone horn in the bottom right corner is not on the objective, which means that it's free
He's just
to.
Gonna stand there.
So I would say that Vida has 6 points left to score on the. What's that?
On objectives?
On objectives,
definitely he has
15.
Already.
So as long as he can do one of the battle tactics, he has a win.
But we do have 3 points. 3 points now this turn. For Kalle, putting him at 17.
That is true.
Meaning that Vida will have 6 points to score on the objectives.
Anyway, we'll find out how this worked out. Vida playing a single game now. He needs to remember.
Now he
also has a clock on 20 minutes.
He doesn't have forever. But 20 minutes should definitely be enough for him to just do what he needs to. Because he has no opposition now.
2 points to Kalle.
2 points, that would be...
Yeah, sure, that is true.
3
So,
points.
yeah,
Oh no, he's not holding more anymore.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes, it's just 2 points. You are correct. We forgot about that. So yeah, 2 points.
Everything needs to eat, and
then retreat to everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly what
See,
you should have done.
that is exactly what you should have done.
So that would also gave him
Some extra points.
the battle tactic. We were
Oh, yes.
calculating on him not just ignoring battle tactics,
Yeah.
but if they
If he
are,
had one available that he could score, why didn't you do it?
more results coming in.
We do have more results coming in here while we're waiting for Vide to just put this together, making sure that he gets the points he needs to win this.
Anton versus Dennis.
Anton versus Dennis on
That is
table 5.
Gothenburg, Dennis, and Anton is from.
Yeah. Oh, and what do we have here? So let's see. We have Anton with Gloomspite
Yep.
versus Dennis with
Silver.
Sylvanet. And this was a doozy. 24 points to Anton, 24 points to Dennis, but a minor win to Anton because of battle tactics.
Yeah. Which means that Anton falls behind on the. That win is not a major win.
No,
So
it is a
that's,
minor win. So there's 3
is
victory
one.
points or 3 tournament points rather than 4.
Exactly, which he is on 3-1.
Yeah, so he's not
but
going for the podium.
no.
No, he's not going to be able to go for the podium. We have another one, which is Sebastian versus Alexis.
Yep. That is Sebastian with the Slanesh and Alexis with the Stormcast.
Exactly, and that was on table 7. Good, we're memorizing here. And that was actually, let's see, 16 for Sebastian and 19 for Alexis.
Ooh.
So Alexis actually took that one as well.
Alexis is strong.
Yeah, he's also gone 3-1 now.
Yep, and 3-1 and how many battle tactics?
That would be 4 battle tactics taken there.
So that he will probably not be here because he
Because he was on 9, 13. No, that doesn't put him in the running for it either.
Number of our
Yeah, we are looking at people who are like 17, 18 and stuff. There we have it. And then we have another one, which is Gabriel versus Thomas.
2 Thomases.
Yeah, Thomas. Let's see here.
Oh, that's the one on bottom.
Yeah,
table
Thomas Dolph,
14.
yeah, exactly, and Gabriel Fielder. Which would be
Fireslayers.
Fireslay for Thomas and Gloomspite for Gabriel. And we had a very narrow win, 22-20 to Gabriel. Yep. We have a confirmation here that we are of course going to do the combat here with Frostlord, see if he can kill it, because he doesn't get to save anything. So all the wounds that go through will be damaged too.
Yeah.
That is going to be rough for him. We also have a game that we were looking forward to seeing. Another one of the games that we were really interested in here was Erik versus William, which would be Korn versus Skaven.
Yep.
And surprise, surprise, the Skaven took it.
Oh.
25-16.
Yes.
Yes. Score.
Score.
With 4 battle tactics.
Oh, that's a good show by
So
William.
how does it go?
He's on 15.
Ooh, I'm not
It
sure that's
depends
going to
on-
be. Maybe for a 3rd place if he's super lucky, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's a bit of
It is a bit of a
stretch.
stretch.
If he wins
But
with the
it's-
scoring, if he wins big in his final round,
Yeah.
it's got an option.
He could at least be around a top 5, top 8 position somewhere, definitely, without an issue.
It's a good show for Skaven.
Then we have one more here, which is Johan versus Anders. Which would be at table 8.
Yep.
Anders Gustafsson, Johan Johansson.
Anders was playing
Anders was playing
Slanesh.
and Johan was playing Seraphon. And that was a pretty resounding win for Anders. So 23-12. Slanesh there. And that is
Anders.
probably a mid-table there.
Yeah, so puts
2
in on
losses.
2-2.
So 2-2, yes.
Yep. Interesting.
Those were the games there. Let's see if we have any more. I think they are just discussing
Yeah, that
everything.
Frostlord is gone, and
Yeah. Let's see if we can.
I've enjoyed watching this game.
Oh yes, very much so.
And I do believe that the players have enjoyed playing that.
Yeah.
And I
We
think
can just
our
watch the players here. If we can switch the camera
Yep.
even to show people here that they are just talking through everything with our TO and the tables, just making the calculations here.
Yep. And I think the players have enjoyed playing it, and
Yeah.
our
And
stream chat have enjoyed
It seems
joining
like
us.
everyone's been having fun with this.
So, and this shows that that's 32 players here at the Swedish Masters.
Yep.
As I've said, all of them have earned their
spot here.
Their spot here through
They
hard
have
work.
qualified.
Yep. And but we have a few players, 2 remaining now, that are really struggling and competing to get that final win.
Oh, yeah.
But we also there's a handshake.
And there's the handshake. There we have it.
Yeah, we'll try to get both of them for an interview.
Yeah.
That would be
And
great.
we're gonna see if we can get the total score here coming, but I would assume it would be around 3, 4, 5 point, 3 point difference at least.
Yeah,
It's
with
the grand
strat.
strat. The grand strat is gonna seal it.
But
for-
just as any,
be there for sure.
just as with any sort of tournament, you always have the mid and the lower tables, and those are still great games, still fun to enjoy. That's where I usually play when I play my.
And we're back in the studio
Yeah.
here, yes.
Since it's mostly us talking anyway.
Yeah, it's just we're talking. We might as well sit here and talk.
Yep.
Oh. Lovely, lovely. We're just gonna get.
Oh, we're missing the results. We're not hearing you there.
No, I have the information.
Oh,
so
okay.
we have the stats here.
Yep.
In the end, it was 20 to Vida, 16 for Kalle.
Oh,
There we have it.
good job by
Good.
Vida.
Good job. And here we have the
That's the last except the stream table.
And that's the final. And to
So
Albin and Philip, and we have had those results.
Yeah,
Yes.
those results. Yes, I don't remember them off the bat. You'll see it in Excel.
Philip won against Albin.
That's
Yeah, that's a
and that solidifies our
So
final
that we are
table.
Final.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
And since also Nils won.
Nagashi's happy.
Sorry?
Nagashi's happy.
Yeah, Nagashi's happy. We have a strong showing for a Soul Blight complete
Podium, yeah.
podium. Yes, that depends on how the
battle tactics. It's all
yeah,
down to
the
the battle
Adam.
tactics
It's
then,
all
yeah.
down to the battle tactics. If the losing player of Adam versus Philip
Yeah.
could still
Get
put
second
up
or third
second
place.
place. Yep, if they score a lot of battle tactics. So
Yes.
there's a lot to play for.
Oh yes, definitely.
But the final, the trophy will go to the winner of Adam and the Adam versus Philip game, Soul Blight Mirror. Unless, of course, they play to a draw.
A draw. Oh, that would be so hilarious, though. Yeah,
Because
that would
a
be
draw,
a draw would make a difference by far.
perhaps, yeah. That's not, yeah. But it's really unlikely.
Well,
But
actually,
it is a mirror,
considering no, because the draw, they would still
They scored
one
2
of one would
points.
win because nobody else has got 4 victories. So they will still
4
win.
victories
Yeah,
and a
so the
draw.
draw wouldn't matter.
Ah, okay.
No, so one of them is gonna win. One of them won their
Good,
match.
good,
Yes.
very good. Even a minor win or a
Maths,
draw.
maths, everyone.
Oh.
So yeah, we also have one more result here, our last one, which would be Tom versus Dick.
Yep.
At also one of the tables farther down, I believe. Let's see where we can find that. Go up a bit.
I was worried because I saw a player.
Yes, so table 13, where we have Tom playing. He's playing Sylvanet, isn't he?
Tom is playing
Yeah.
Sylvanet.
And then Dick is playing Nurgle, and we had a win for Sylvanet, 23-16.
Yep. Playing quite a lot of his list are shooting Colonel Hunter
Yeah,
heavy.
shoot the Sylvanet. Interesting, fun list to look at you. So
Let's see
yeah,
if we can get the players for an interview.
let's see if we can get some players up in here. Do you want to take the interviews, perhaps? Yeah, I've been doing them.
Yep, I can do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have Eric talk to the players here. Just see if we can get Kalle up here. So Boban, stay tuned here. We both Kalle and still at the table, and we're getting ready to talk to them here, for sure. Yes, Yes, go get Kalle. Oh, amazing. But here I'm getting scolded here that Kurnoth bows are good. Kurnoth bows are right. You have to invest a lot in them to make them work, in my opinion. But there are also glaring weaknesses in going for the Kurnoth bows, and sometimes those weaknesses can be your undoing. But sure, yes, there is a lot more viability to being shooty, and we've seen Tom show that a shooty Sylvan at least with a bunch of Kurnoth bows and Draitica, that is a viable option. It is something you can do, and it's gonna do its thing pretty well. It is gonna be quite consistent, absolutely. When you are operating on Rend 1 though, for a majority of your output, against something like a Petrifex list, you might struggle taking those objectives, as we saw. The thing we saw in this match, that could be rough, trying to shift those things, and that's why I'm saying that you have to always consider what the weaknesses are of certain units. Exactly. If your archers aren't moving up the board, taking space, fighting in melee if they can, what are they even doing? Why are there models on the board? I am definitely of that philosophy here. They are still models that need to move around, they need to be present on the board, they need to capture objectives. Just because they have a ranged weapon doesn't mean that they're just static pieces. And that is something I think shows that you play the list with shooting rather than playing the list of shooting, for shooting. You don't play a shooting list, you play a list with shooting, because you have to play the army in its whole and really utilize all the aspects, because shooting units are expensive. You need to use those bodies, otherwise you're going to have a hard time capturing objectives, scoring points. I mean, bow Kurnoths aren't amazing in melee, but could be worse. Oh, look at this! We have some lovely company here. I'm going to pass my seat over here to Kalle.
Okay. Kalle, welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
To this end of it.
Raise the camera. He's too big.
Yeah.
Zoom it out.
Good. That was really fun to get to watch you play.
Yeah, it was. I think it was quite tough to play on stream because I'm not that experienced playing the game.
Yeah.
But it was also super fun. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it was a nice match against Vide. He's a good opponent, and we could play like a competitive game, but also fun at the same time.
That's the best.
Yeah.
So, so it affected your game being on stream, or was it
the time? I was overthinking things, and I think that's why I timed out.
Yeah. But your game plan looked solid. Your opening games, you had the low drops, you gave it to Vida, and activated one of the objectives on the middle.
Yeah.
So your response to that. So it started out quite solidly for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I tried to take the first objective that was placed and try to get Cornspire and a Beast Rider up and to do his fun little unstoppable charge monstrous action.
Yeah.
And try to take out his small
bone shaper. Right?
Bone shaper, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah, there was but those Immortic Guard.
Yeah,
they can really tank.
They're not movable. You don't move them easily.
Yeah,
unless you have like 3 or -4 and
something like that. We saw you try to
or lots of mortals,
and they had a debuff as well, so you have a -1 to the damage.
Yeah.
But we saw you try to sort of kill them through the Bone Shaper, right?
Yeah.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you lost that priority into turn 2, because if you won that, then you would really have put pressure on me there.
Yeah.
But
I got to pick the objective at least. So I had it on my own objective.
Yep. So you have strong support from Värmland.
Yeah.
From back home.
Go Värmland, go Bubben. Yeah.
That is good. Yeah. Have you had a good time this weekend?
Yeah, it's been awesome to be here and to meet everyone playing here. And I also realized that there are so many levels in this game, and I need to get more experience and play more games because I don't have like full system knowledge. Like I don't know every armies, and actually haven't played every army yet.
And this is the first time for me as well, seeing the new OBR. A lot of new stuff.
Yeah. But the people here are amazing. Yeah.
It's good to hear. Yeah, we were talking about that. Just that the fact that a Stonehorn, it's a big battering ram. It's a big monster. You want to charge in. It wants to fight. Yeah. But it also has a second function in being 10 models on an objective.
Yeah.
But you're right. That is something sort of seeing those options.
Yeah. I also got some pointers after the game, and I realized that there were things I missed, and so I will take those as a lesson and learn and try to improve it for the next tournament and such. Yeah.
If you feel like it, you can always go back and watch this stream, watch your game.
Yeah.
Remember that we are also engaged here, so any comments,
that's okay.
It's meant to be in
a good spirit.
As a constructive criticism.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I know I messed up a couple of times. So
there was a couple of retreats we thought you should have done, and that Stonehorn, Frostlord, right? No, it was
the pile-in to destroy his desecrate the lands. I actually forgot that he had picked that one in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
And that's on me because I think he just sort of wasted a tactic, but he actually had a small chance to make it, and he made it because I made a mistake.
Yeah, so, sure. But we consider that sort of an overreach, though, because that's I'll be talking to Vile because that perhaps he should have just stayed behind when he won that turn 2 priority. He could just screened you out of the game and sort of control you were to pick, but it didn't matter which ones of those you picked. So just stay behind and not throwing himself into. Yeah. But you're right. You learn stuff. Playing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope we'll have a good 5th game as well. Yeah. Now it's time for lunch, and then thank you for being on the stream. Thank you for doing an interview.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Good luck on the rest.
Yeah. Bye.
Have fun. And I'll be back shortly. Let's see. Jeff, can you get Vida?
Vida. Yes. Big famous.
Welcome on the screen. Switch places. There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
So, is this your first time playing on the stream, or have you played stream game before?
I played once, I think, on the Asylum Kota.
Yeah.
I had a stream game. So already famous. You're used to the fame and the starlight.
Yeah, I was talking to Kalle about it in itself being a sort of a stress and affecting your decision. Did you feel that it affected your game in any way?
No, little bit at the start maybe, but then I just kind of forgot about it, or like tried to let it go. So I felt that part was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did the game go? How do you describe it?
I think it was a nice game. I really liked the priority I won when I could go into his Stonehorn, his general, with my Mortis guard and lock him up a bit. Yeah. And then also, as we spoke about a little bit after the game, I think we spoke about with Kalle as well, he made he could have retreated a few times and he could have blocked the Desecrate, which is, lucky for me, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But even with that, I feel like it would have been a pretty close game, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think he threw the game away.
No, yeah, I think, both me and Liara we both saw him making a strong and solid start with giving you the first turn and sort of moving up and contesting and sort of tying you down and making you sort of slowly move. And with the scenario being that there's at first there's only one objective and then there's two objectives, and so as the game progressed there would be more for you to contest.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you watch the game back, you'll probably hear us questioning your decision to move in as you won that priority, because the way we looked at it, you gambled sort of gaining control of that upper objective, the one to your right, where you also had your battle tactic, even though it was us misunderstanding that battle tactic, because you only need to contest.
When I went in with the general.
If you just moved, instead of you put the ward on the 6 center 6, you could have just moved one of them, touching that objective and screen the Stonehorn and the Frostnode.
Yeah, maybe. But I was feeling I was kind of gambling for. I wanted to lock down his general so he doesn't get his impact and the extra damage on the charge.
Yeah.
And my game plan was a bit that it will be more objectives and he's probably going to lose a few pieces and he won't be able to contest everywhere basically. Yeah. And hopefully my guys stay alive so I can do that.
And they're really good at staying alive, those in Mortisguard. It's impressive. Do they always perform like that?
Not all. Well, last game I had the Squig Herd come in, do 25 wounds on them just like that. So it's,
that's rough.
Yeah, I was not really prepared for that. So that was an uphill game.
That means one remaining, right?
Yeah. But then I didn't roll any 3 pluses.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, because it's the first time for me seeing this new OBR book.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's so nice to bring Catacross out again. He wasn't super great in the last. I mean, he hasn't changed that much. It's just easier to use. You don't get your brain isn't melting by figuring out his damage tables and stuff anymore.
That's good. He assumes the abilities of his lost adjutants or whatever is on his base.
Yeah.
So and. So you played OBR before the book as well, or?
Yeah. I've started playing last summer, and I bought some OBR without consulting my friend who was also playing. So when I told him I bought an OBR army, he was like, "Let's talk before you buy anything else."
So you've played a couple of OBR mirrors then?
Yeah. I've played a lot of OBR, but the new book is fresh and I really enjoy it. It's fun to be in the regular game, so to speak, with the commands and stuff.
Yeah, and there's more Morghasts being included as well. You find them good?
I actually don't like the ones I brought today, the Archive with the 5 upward when they're within 12 of heroes. Those have been. Also, I don't like the scythes or the halberds. It's too swingy with only 6 attacks, I think. But I like the Harbingers with swords and deep strike. Deep strike is really nice.
Yeah.
But when you have to put them out, that just doesn't work for me really well.
Okay. Because they're gorgeous models.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So I'm happy they're at least a bit better than the old book.
They're playable. Sure. So have you enjoyed the weekend?
Yeah, it's been a great tournament. Great people. Kalle was a great opponent. Everyone's super nice, super happy. Fun to be on the stream.
Yeah. Great to have you.
Yeah,
thank you for letting us watch your games.
Thank you for letting me play.
Good. Okay, so we'll go grab some lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
It's about time. So we'll pause the stream here and be back for the final game of Soul Blight Mirror. Did you hear that? We have it will be a deciding game. Soul Blight versus Soul Blight.
Oh, is
Adam versus.
Is it the Dragon List?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it in my first round. It was rough. I feel like they deserve to meet each other.
Yeah. So they will be, one of them will take the big trophy back home.
So fun fact about the qualifying: he qualified in Norrköping, Linköping with the old book.
Yes.
And beat them all.
That's
good. Great work.
That's a good job. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you later.
Bye.